Welcome to Guys We Fucked. Guys We Fucked.
Guys We Fucked.
I'm Christina. I'm Corinne.
We're sorry about last night.
The anti-slut shaming podcast. I never stop.
Hey, fuckers, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Guys We Fucked.
It's the anti-slut shaming podcast. I'm Corinne.
I'm Christina.
Today's news item, it's not based on one item in particular. It's just based on the Victoria's Secret fashion show. We all know they do the, big lingerie show every year. It's a big thing. There's music, there's butts, there's the abs.
Titties.
There's lots of titties. That's the main selling point, I think, is titties for the bra company. But basically, there was a question that someone asked this guy, Ed Razik, who is the chief marketing officer of Victoria's Secret. Of course, it's some weird straight dude. And they were like, oh, shouldn't you have, the person used the word transsexuals. They mean transgendered people. They were like, shouldn't you have transgender people in the show? And he responded saying, no, I don't think we should. Because the show is a fantasy. And so this created obviously an uproar, as everything does these days. But I mean, this one, rightly so. And it was interesting. So it's just kind of this thing I've been following on Twitter, because I follow a lot of trans activists and a lot of trans people. Mm-hmm. And it's this kind of thing where everyone's like, cis people shouldn't even comment on it. And it's like, well, everyone comments on everything. That's the way it is in this, when we're in an age where we're trying to consistently churn out content for every moment of the day. So
and our
obviously
opinion on that content.
Yeah, things are going to get said by people. But obviously it was very offensive to trans models. And then the other argument that I heard was that, for a lot of, if we're talking about the fantasy of men, which number one, it's a women's underwear company. So it's
they're really catering to dudes with
this.
They
should be selling, the product to people who are women or identify as women, or just dudes who want to dress like women. Anything. Yeah. It's not, it's
the person who wants to buy the product.
Yeah. The people who they're concerned about being into this fantasy. Unless there is a market of course, men buying for their girlfriends. That is, I'm sure, a semi-large percentage of sales. But every time I go into Victoria's Secret, honestly, it's all women. I was
gonna say, anytime I see him a man, and he's always with his girlfriend
and
or wife.
Looks exhausted. It's not like a sexy, kinky thing.
I don't think he really wants to be there.
Well, because the bottom line is Victoria's Secret is not really that nice of a store. It's kind of a trash heap. As a former employee, can testify that it's a fucking trash heap. If you're especially, I worked in beauty, and if you're buying any of those products,
just don't.
Literally put an old lily in a bottle of water and you're gonna get the same scent. Okay,
and it's way cheaper.
Honestly, Victoria's Secret is the reason that my screening of Halloween was almost ruined yesterday, because someone had had bathed in some fucking Victoria's Secret body wash and then sat next to me, and I was like, this is the real horror right here. Never mind Mike Myers coming back to murder Jamie Lee Curtis.
Too many bottles of Love Spill.
But yeah, so anyway, it's been going on for a couple of days, so I've just been kind of following it. It's been interesting. Everyone obviously has, an argument about it. Kendall Jenner posted something saying celebrating trans women. And then the Model Alliance.
Shoot, does she have a trans mother now or no?
Her mother, her
Caitlyn.
Well, if it's a trans, I guess it's still her father technically, but it's a trans woman is what you would say.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good question. I don't know if she says mother or father.
I never thought of that.
I'm not sure. Parent, maybe
just Caitlyn.
Parent, yeah, I'm not really sure if you change or
that word.
It's parent, I guess. I don't know. And the Model Alliance, though, did release a statement saying, this is not the way that we think. And they have a thing called the Respect Program, RESPECT, all capitalized. And it's a legally binding agreement that will protect models against sexual harassment, as well as provide a blueprint to create safe working environments for everyone involved. Because other feedback for the show is that people were starving themselves in preparation for it always, that they were working extremely long hours. So it just seems like a shit show in general.
Yeah.
And it's as a woman with a body, obviously I am not a model, but to get, I know a lot of hot people. Very few of them look as hot as it is as you see the models. It's almost impossible.
Well, they're models for a reason
to look like that. But I mean, I literally know models in real life and they still don't even look like that. So I can only imagine what these people are doing to get in shape for that. And again, that's their own choice. And like I think athletes damage their bodies to get in shape too, and that's like their own personal choice. But it's just an interesting conversation to have.
I always wonder, like with Victoria's Secret, I'm like, man, for a company that sells products to women, you sure do cater to men with your ads.
Yeah, it is very weird.
But then it's like, let's make the person buying our product feel insecure so that they feel like they need it to be accepted by the person that they're...
Well, they're just not really cool anymore. Like Adriana Lima's like retiring, I think. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. It's just a very like Costco-y place to buy.
It's the Kroger of bra stores.
It's not sexy anymore. I even went there the other day like to try to get I was trying to get like a bodysuit, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, every time I go to Victoria's Secret, I'm like, nah, and I walk out.
But it is annoying. I mean, and I also, on the flip side, I don't want to just be like, go along with any PC headline. I also feel like there is a part of me that feels like, as someone who has been a woman my whole life, like presented as, so internally and externally a woman, there is something strange about people, not people who transition early. I'm not talking about, Jazz on the reality TV show, but people who are transitioning, 25, 30 years old. And I discussed this with our former guest, Gina Bloom, who transitioned a little later in life. And absolutely, she's like, yeah, it's called transplaning. It's when you live your whole life presenting as a man, so you are treated as a man, you have the confidence of a man, you have kind of that privilege of a man, and then all of a sudden one day you are presenting as a woman and then try to get into female spaces. Like, it is different because we're all carrying different baggage. So I think that's always something to keep in mind too, because it is frustrating. You're like, oh my god, like I'm just like a cis woman, and I shouldn't feel guilty for being. That's just
it's the way you're born.
I just it's like lucky I came out the way I wanted to. Like, I feel on the inside the way I look on the outside.
Yeah.
But and then it's just Twitter's like, everyone shut up.
The internet is just a bunch of yelling, guys. And you know what? Sometimes it's hard to deal with that yelling. And that's why we have friends like Talkspace. Today's show is sponsored by Talkspace, the online therapy company that lets you message a licensed therapist from anywhere at any time, even if you're taking a big old shit on the toilets. Can't imagine fitting another appointment in your life because you're really eating crappy and you're taking long shits. Well, with Talkspace, therapy is as easy as sending your therapist a message. No commutes, no leaving the office, no judgments. Talkspace platform has over 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing life challenges we all face. To match with the perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, you go to Talkspace.com/GWF, use code GWF and get $45 off your first month and show your support for this show. That's Talkspace and Talkspace. Oh no, that's my bad. That's GWF and Talkspace.com/GWF. Guys, the code's just always GWF for everything.
Most of the time, yeah. Come see us live. Okay, so coming up, we are going to be in Rosemont, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. We know with traffic, sometimes it's a little bit longer than 20 minutes, trip. But it's okay. We're going to be at Zany's in Rosemont Friday, November 16th through Saturday, November 17th. There's 4 shows, so that's 2 shows each night. Those are really close to sell. I think like a couple of them are sold out already, I think.
The Friday early show is sold out so far. The Saturday ones I haven't checked yet.
So just go over there. We can't add any more Chicago shows. So come see us in Rosemont. Again, these are the last Bridget Bishop tour dates of the year. And then following that, in the new year, 2019, we're going to be in Canada, Winnipeg to be specific, at Rumors. That's Thursday, January 24th through Saturday, January 26th for 5 shows. Again, for all tour dates, go to sorryaboutlastnightcomedy.com/tours. Additionally, if you want to keep up to date with us, our shows in New York, if you're visiting, our shows elsewhere, other projects we're working on, the best way to do that is to follow our individual social media handles. Mine is at Philanthropy Gal on all social media.
Christina, and mine is Christina Hutch
on all social media. And that's the way to find us and keep in touch with us wherever Again, a lot of people listen to the show that don't follow us, and you're missing a lot of good content.
Yeah, because we put out shows and shit, such as the one on Saturday, December 1st at 7:30 p.m. Wendy Starling and I are co-hosting the next version of Glamour Puss at Zinc Bar. Doors at 7, shows at 7:30. We dress up in wigs at the beginning. It's fun for all. You'll laugh your ass off, and you can have a really nice cocktail at a place where Nina Simone used to sing.
It's beautiful. And you're going to feel so good after that show. It's almost like you signed up for Simple Health. That's our sponsor. Guys, no more doctor's offices, waiting rooms, or pharmacy lines.
Bye.
With Simple Health, you can get birth control prescribed, renewed, and delivered from wherever you are on your schedule.
Oh, shit.
All you have to do is fill out an online health profile and answer some questions, and a doctor will review, recommend a product, and write a prescription. Then your birth control will ship to your door on a recurring schedule. If you already have a prescription, just provide your pharmacy information and Simple Health will transfer your RX and start shipping your birth control to you. It's free with most insurance plans and an average of less than $20 a month without.
That ain't bad.
This is amazing because I have, I talk about birth control a lot. I've been on the pill since I was 18 years old. Truly my favorite product on the market, like over Twizzlers and Diet Coke. That's how much I fucking love the birth control pill. I know my experience is not the same as it, but I'm telling you, I would really recommend that people should give it a try at least. And if it's not for you, you're not crazy. It's just not for you. But I'm always running to the pharmacy because, they're really usually only writing out, a month worth at a time. So if you're traveling, if you just forget and you can't skip it, you can't be lazy. But yeah, that's the one thing. If you're taking the pill,
pregnant,
you got to be fucking responsible. So to have it shipped to my door, that's amazing. When Simple Health shipped it to my door, I was like, holy crap, I don't have to do this 25-minute walk to the pharmacy, which I do. It's 25. Yeah, it's a 25-minute walk to the pharmacy in my neighborhood. So I'll have to plan things around it. Sometimes I'll have to take an Uber for no reason if I'm running late. Sometimes I'll forget, and for me, my pill pack starts on a Sunday, and then it's after 5 p.m. on a Sunday, you realize it's the day you got to start your new pill pack. Then you're like, fuck. Then your whole month is out of whack. But this makes it so much easier. There's just so much shit to remember. And birth control is something you do not want to forget. And additionally, if you don't have insurance, it's a really, really great opportunity to be able to take care of your own reproductive health without having the government or health insurance companies getting in. When the programs like this, especially if you're broke, are a life changer. They're really a life changer. So $20, I think that's something that mostly everyone can afford. And if you can't afford it, make some adjustments in your life and make room for birth control if that's something that you're interested in getting on. I just love access to birth control, especially because things are getting a little scarier
cray-cray up there in DC.
By the day. Yeah, so hoard it, in fact, is actually what I'm recommending. So guys, don't miss your chance to try this service for free. Our listeners get $20 prescription fees waived, the first one, by going to simplehealth.com/GWF. Okay. Or you can enter the code GWF at checkout. Again, that's $20 prescription fee waived for the first time, simplehealth.com/GWF, or by entering code GWF at checkout. This service is not a replacement for routine evaluations by your primary care physician or gynecologist. But hope you guys know that.
Yeah, I was on birth control. People still ask me about the one that I was on that was low hormone. It's low estrin is what it was called. And there was a point where I did not have. No, I did have health insurance, and it was $140 every time, and I couldn't pay it. I had to have Stephen buy it for me because I was like, this is fucking ridiculously expensive.
And just in general, if your doctor writes you a prescription, you can always ask for if they have a generic version, because sometimes a lot of times doctors will write the generic one to save you money, but if not, you can ask the pharmacist, is there a generic version of this, because they're allowed to change it, and you can save yourself a lot of money.
And then you save yourself some money so that you can go spend it to frame all your art. Guys, you've heard us talk about Frame Bridge. They make it ridiculously easy and affordable to custom frame your favorite things, from art prints to photos on your phone. Plus, FrameBridge is the easiest way to send truly one-of-a-kind gifts to everyone on your holiday list. Ain't nothing more that I hate than someone giving me a gift that I then have to complete the gift by getting it framed. That's just annoying. Don't give your friend or family member an errand. Give them a gift. Go to framebridge.com, upload your photo, or mail in your physical pieces using their safe packaging. Then preview your item online in any frame style. Choose your favorite or get free recommendations, and the expert team will custom your frame for your item, delivering the finished piece directly to your door, ready to hang. A handmade personal gift from FrameBridge starts at $39 and it ships for free. And I gotta say, guys, Corinne and I go on the road a lot, and one of the things we love doing when we go on the road is going to any local art galleries. Half of the art in my apartment has been purchased in another state, and I would always come home and go, I'm gonna frame it, and then I would go to the frame store and they're like, that'll be $300 per piece. I'm like, say what the fuck now? Say what the fuck now? So do you see that those two paintings right there? Those are FrameBridge. I was talking about how I love paintings of girls holding flowers over their face, and somebody actually drew a really beautiful graphic of me with flowers over my face, which I appreciate. And you know what? I'm gonna fucking go on FrameBridge and fucking make it a photo. And yeah, it's narcissistic, but I'll put it in my office so not many other people see it. With just a few taps on your phone, FrameBridge lets you create a one-of-a-kind gift that will win Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever the fuck you celebrate, and make someone happy for years to come. So go to framebridge.com, use promo code GWF. You'll save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code GWF. That's framebridge.com, promo code GWF.
Okay, I think we have one more. I'm not sure. Maybe two more. Whatever.
We have one more ad.
All right,
one more ad.
You guys know how to work technology. Wink, wink if you need to get past it. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Fast Forward.
Support from today's show also comes from Lola. No, not the character from Damn Yankees. We're talking about the feminine hygiene company. They also make tampons. Anyone with a vagina, whatever we're saying these days. Don't feel bad. Just be yourself, okay? Lola is a female-founded company offering a line of organic cotton tampons, pads, and liners, and now they offer sex products too, including ultra-thin lubricated condoms that are made of natural rubber, latex, and individually tested for contraception and STI protection. I don't know what that means. I guess someone with chlamydia rubs their cock all over it, and if it doesn't get through, they're like, this one's clear for Lola.
Put that in the package.
Bag it up.
Don't even clean it. They do. They clean it because they're not used before.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're all. I also want to say that all Lola products do come unused.
Yeah,
I know.
Isn't that a bonus?
What a company. Their ultra thin design and premium medical grade silicone oil lubricant ensures a safe and without and it doesn't sacrifice your sensation. Because God, we wouldn't want your little vagina or your little penis to not get all the pleasure it deserves, because you worked hard this week, okay? You worked hard this week.
Todd.
Plus, to make your month a little bit easier, you can add Sex by Lola to your period subscription. I mean, that also sounds like a shitty cologne that Victoria's Secret would make.
Yeah, but it's not.
But when it's Sex by Lola, you're like, oh, this is great. I don't want to bleed all over everything. So someone will come and cork it up. So, I mean, basically, Sex by Lola is, the toys.
Yeah,
and then the
condoms,
other Lola
lubes.
is the stuff for the bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay? So you just choose your mix
all the
of
same
products, absorbency, number of boxes, and frequency of delivery. Do you need 3 vibrators a week?
Yeah.
Lola can get that to you.
Yeah, I kind of do.
You might need to check in with somebody.
Yeah, it's all right.
Unless you live in some kind of a sex house. But again, that's fine. Everything is going to be delivered on your ideal schedule. Hey, are you someone who gets your period 5 times a month?
Ugh, yeah.
Lola's going to hook you the fuck
up. You gotta go to
up.
the doctor, girl.
But also definitely see a specialist. Okay? You're gonna sign up for Simple Health. You're gonna get a prescription.
Get that period in order
for a cork, and then you're gonna go to Lola and you're gonna get some organic liners, because some of that's gonna leak out, to be honest. Okay? So this schedule, it's super flexible. You can change, you can skip, but you might be pregnant.
Hey, you got to get that birth control on time. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all kinds of callbacks, guys.
Or if you're trying to get a show on TLC, just cancel the subscription at any time.
Yeah.
Okay, guys? It said I must discuss my personal experience with the product. Guys, we like those wipes, okay?
Dude.
Those Lola wipes. I hide them on myself like a $5 bill, and then sometimes I just give myself the gift of a clean vagina. Okay.
You know what? I'm
It's
going to do
great.
something for Corinne real quick. Swipe, swipe.
It's great. Because you know what? If I don't have a Lola wipe on me, I just use those old generic makeup
wipes?
removers that
On
they
your-
have in hotel rooms. I collect them. And this is my reasoning. I go, ugh, I would never put this generic makeup remover on my face, but I will clean out my chooch with it. And that's the kind of respect women have for their bodies, guys. Okay? You know what? So this holiday season, stop treating your pussy like a garbage disposal. So that includes not putting generic makeup wipes on it and not letting any dick that in or vagina in to your own vagina, even though we heard scissoring isn't really a thing.
You get it.
You know, I can't be this inclusive. You see how much
It's
time
hard.
This is how much time inclusion takes up. I've already added 3 minutes to the ad. Okay, so you're all welcome here, but just please stop talking about it.
Just plug it up. It's all kinds of things for one
Everyone
hole.
can be here. We're all allowed.
Men, if you want to buy Lola tampons, soak them in vodka and put up your butthole.
Put 'em in your ears.
That's not what they're recommending, but that they're not going to
Use them as pool decorations if you're on the West Coast. I don't care. Okay, light them on fire and leave them in your neighbor's
Not
yard.
if you're on the West Coast. Don't do that.
Whatever.
They're not doing
whatever. Well, that's for the pool. Light it on fire
pool.
on the East Coast.
Yeah.
For 40% off all subscriptions, visit mylola.com and enter code GWF40 when you subscribe.
Oh, my bad. Not all the codes are GWF. This one's GWF40.
Yeah, this is 40. Sometimes they throw a number in there because they were like, you know what? Corinne and Christina need 80 tweets this week for someone who his finger's broken and they can't use the remote.
Guys, we're hungry. And I'm horny. And I'm going to read this email. Mm-hmm. Okay. The subject of this email is, I've met his girlfriend, but I still want to keep fucking him. Am I a terrible person? Hey, Corinne and Christina, don't use my name or location. All right, I get why. My story is long, but I'm a lover of details. Okay, my name is, all right, and I moved from some place to another place last year, and I'm in my 20s. I've been single for almost a year after a bad breakup that left me devastated. The man I thought I was going to marry had been cheating on me for months with a bunch of different random women. Oh, what a sweetheart. He wasn't having romantic or emotional affairs, thank God, but was finding different girls at his college or online and fucking them while I was at work or out of town. Jesus. The breakup was ugly and dramatic, and I was very sad for a few months. That makes total sense. I had a great hoe phase after my breakup with quite a few awesome one-night stands and a few not so awesome ones. I tried to date a few guys, but they all annoyed me, and I realized that I just wanted to get laid. Since being single, I finally decided to go for the dreams that my ex didn't support. I've always dreamt of traveling and working for an airline. He said he wouldn't trust me, and wow, he wouldn't trust you, huh? Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black or whatever? That's right. The kettle calling the pot, whatever the fuck. I'm tired.
You were correct the first time.
Yay, I got it. He said he wouldn't trust me and said he would have to break up if I got the job. So after I dumped him like last night's trash, I picked up, moved across the country, and got myself an airline job. Fuck yeah. It's been the best decision I've ever made. I love my job. I've made the most amazing friendships. I met a guy early on in my job that I clicked with immediately. We became best of friends, doing each other favors all the time and spending lots of time together. We've been calling each other work wife and work husband since we met. I slowly started developing romantic feelings for this person. We constantly flirted and joked about sex, and the sexual tension between us kept growing. This is all great, except for the fact that he has a girlfriend for the last 7 years who had recently moved back in with her family on the other side of the country. Oh boy. They were having problems when we met and were on the brink of breaking up until he made ridiculous sacrifices that have uprooted his entire life to make her happy. He has to give up his friends, leave his home, pause his career goals, and move back to the state where his horribly toxic family lives because of her decisions. He's not happy about all the changes, but he's trying to make his relationship work. They sold his house. I helped more than she did, by the way. Oh, okay, rare. And he's been...
Well, yeah, she lives there.
Well, yeah. And he's been staying at my apartment every once in a while until he can transfer his job and move back home. We tend to stay up late talking, and sometimes alcohol is involved. We've had some serious conversations about our friendship, and we've both revealed that we have feelings for each other. Fast forward a few more nights of him staying here, and we had sex. And we had sex the next time he stayed over, and the next time, and then a couple more times after that. I know how wrong it is, and I know how badly it hurts to be cheated on, but I don't feel as guilty as I should. We've talked about it, and he feels guilty, but he doesn't regret it, and it keeps happening. He said to me, I'm cheating on my girlfriend, but I kind of like it. I like it too, a lot, and I know I should feel much worse than I do. My best friend / roommate and I met the girlfriend recently when she came to visit and wanted to meet his friends. We had dinner and she was the only person at the table who didn't know that I've been fucking her boyfriend. She was super nice, funny, and we all got along really well. I was surprised at how much I liked her and how I was able to be normal and act like I wasn't the woman ruining her life. Part of me thinks I'm a little evil. 2 weeks later, he stayed with us again, and we stayed up all night talking and we had sex. Even though I've met her and I know this is wrong, I still don't feel as bad as I should. I'm not expecting him to leave her for me. I know that we will probably never end up together, and it would be a bad idea to be with anyone who is capable of cheating. But I still like it. The sex is good. I'm incredibly comfortable with him. He's a good friend to me, and I'm spending time with him. Another positive is that having feelings for him helped me realize that I'm over my breakup. We've talked about how we end this. And neither of us really want to. I think it will end when he moves, but because of our job, he'll likely be visiting. I know that I should feel more guilty, and if I were a better person, I would put an end to it as soon as possible. I know that when it inevitably ends, it probably won't end well. Am I a terrible person? Have you or anyone you know ever had an affair? Do I do the right thing and cut it off, even though I don't want to? Do I wait for him to move and count on him not calling me when he visits? Or do I continue to be selfish and help ruin their relationship? Thank you for reading. Thanks for all you do. Love you guys. Cool. Love, the heartless flying slut. That's funny. Okay. I wanted to read this email for some personal reasons of mine, but I'll get into that after. I think you're 22. You're very young. So you're in your early 20s. I think when you're in your early 20s, thinking of consequences isn't a thing that's it's not like trendy when you're in your early 20s. Not trendy meaning like it's not a cool thing to do. But what I mean by that is like I never really thought about consequences when I was in my 20s in terms of sex. I've had sex with a man who had a girlfriend, a guy that I'd been having sex with for years. And then one of the times he said he had a girlfriend. I didn't give a shit and we had sex. And I felt like shit afterwards. But I still continued to fuck him. He ended up breaking up with that girl. But you got to think of the long term here. What is this doing for you? Where do you see this going? You like this guy. You like him and you have a vibe emotionally and sexually. And I think that making the hard decision and sacrificing an immediate want to be strict and stand by your own morals, I think is something that will actually give you a lot of self-esteem. Maybe you're not having self-esteem issues, but it's a really good positive thing that comes along with doing that, even though it doesn't feel good in the moment to not have sex when you really want to. But you've been cheated on. So I'm assuming that's why you're saying, I'm basically ruining this girl's world. She doesn't know yet because you had a horrible breakup with a guy who was terrible to you and wanted to hold you back from doing something you wanted and said he couldn't trust you. Meanwhile, he was cheating on you the whole time. So I don't think the situation that you're in right now it's not a good one. How's it going to end? It's either going to end where if you cut it off and in that situation you're in control and you could feel good about making that decision, or you keep fucking somebody who is too much of a fucking pussy to leave his girlfriend, or maybe he doesn't want to leave his girlfriend. You said she's great. Maybe he agrees. I'm sure he does. And he wants to be with her. So in the end, you're going to get heartbroken. So I think you just got to think of all the roads that this could possibly go down and really be honest with yourself about what road you want it to take. Because I'm pretty sure you don't feel bad right now, but it's probably because you're so high on the energy that you're getting from this relationship that you shouldn't be having. And so I think that you should cut it off. If I were you, I don't know.
I mean, to me, I think the sentence that you kind of just referenced about ruining her life is very telling to me, because to me, that shows how much power you're giving to the man in this relationship. We always talk about it's the person in the relationship who is cheating who has the most responsibility. So he certainly is more at fault than you are if we're doing it by like insurance claims, kind of divvying it up by percentage. However, he's also like making out the best, and like I don't think you're gonna tell her. I don't think she's necessarily gonna find out. So it's like,
should tell her.
So it's like you're just no, absolutely not. And so you're just getting he's getting sex and love from or emotions or whatever. I don't know if you love him from two women, and it has no future for you. You're doing something shitty to another woman, and you're literally, not to get heavy, but you're like facilitating the patriarchy. In my opinion, with this, and it's like you're giving so much power to this guy. Like, this is the thing with cheating that I always question. It's just like, I've met a lot of guys and I've fucked a lot of guys, and there are great guys. I'm not someone who doesn't think there are great guys. I know a lot of great guys, but I've never met anyone who was worth like ruining my life or ruining somebody else's life over. And also, honestly, I don't think you're gonna ruin it. I think this girl, I think that's like you're not giving this woman enough credit. Like, this woman's life, how do you know this woman's life would be ruined without this fucking putz? Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe that's why she's staying where she wants to live and making her life exactly as she wants it to be. And she's saying, listen, I like this guy, and if he's willing to make these sacrifices for me, I'm happy to have him in my life, but otherwise I'm doing what I wanted to do on my own terms.
Maybe the girls that were fucking your ex-boyfriend while you were with him thought the same thing, and then when you found out he was cheating on you, you fucking moved and you found your dream job. So that wasn't ruining your life. That was actually doing you a favor.
It's just like, why are you doing it? Good sex. To me, you say he's a good friend, but to me, a good friend is not someone who consistently lies and cheats. That's a quality. Like, you can't isolate a characteristic or a quality of a human to only a friendship relationship. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, like, what other shit is this person doing? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, like, I'm not saying like to cheat once, like accidentally, you're drunk, something happens. Don't have to beat yourself up for that. But this is just a continual
you're seeing
thing.
Him. You're like your boyfriend, girlfriend.
And also, like, what is this guy doing? He's uprooting his whole life and moving across the country, and we're supposed to feel bad for him at the beginning of this email, but then he's also fucking you nonstop. Like, what?
Yeah.
Just what is going on here? This is a whole fucking huge mess.
Yeah, it's
gross.
A mess. And you, that's why I think standing by your morals is partly the reason why it's a confidence booster, is because you're putting yourself first. You're not making it all about him. Like, I feel like this, I don't know. With the affair thing, it's always tricky, but I know women have affairs too. It's not divided by gender, certainly. But
also, affair, you're making it a little fancier. They're not actually married. Yeah. Stop giving yourself so much credit.
Yeah.
It's like they're not even married. There's no real legal repercussions here.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's just, I think it's like, this is a thing that happens with a good number of our listeners, because I think there is a difference between being sexually explorative, being sexually open, and then just being someone who just like fucks without morals. Like, you're the fucking female slut whisperer on Instagram. And that's like a thing. I don't know if you follow that.
That's like a meme account?
It's no good. But I follow it just to keep
Oh,
tabs.
It's a dude, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah, that's weird.
And like the way you even sign this, like the heartless flying slut with like a heart.
Got a little pride to you?
Yeah, to me that's saying like you're writing us asking, am I a terrible person? But it's like, I think it seems to me you just want attention, and that you don't really care if you're a terrible person, and you think it's kind of fun, like you're some kind of real life Disney villain, and you're not, and you're 22, and life's gonna fucking drop kick you in the face.
Oh man, that was good, Corinne.
Thank you.
So you know how like you've exercised, you've told me like a story before about how you exercised willpower when having the possibility of sleeping with somebody that you've admired for a long time, and then you didn't, and I was like, how? Wow, oh my God.
Right.
And then 2 weeks ago I talked about a guy being in my apartment and he had a girlfriend, but I was so fucking attracted to him, and so I made him leave, and I said no, and I felt really good about that decision. And then I did it again with another person. I guess the person is married, so it is an affair, you could say. But I just wanted to put it out there. We've had emails before about I'm fucking someone with a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. And I just want to say that I was in a situation, and I put myself in it. We both put ourselves in it. It's no one's at fault there. But I'm doing this new thing. I know I was sad for a really long time after this breakup, and I kind of lost who I was. I think mainly what it was is I finally realized I didn't know who I was this whole time, and therapy is very fucking helpful for me for that particular journey. But also I've been making good decisions with my life lately because I like myself, and that guy from England who was here, and I said no, and I fucking was so angry because I felt what I would imagine guys feel when a girl like leads them on. I'm hesitant to use that language, but I felt like angry and horny and pissed, and then I ran into this. It's a little bit more of an intense situation, but this person has a partner that they're married, and I kind of told the person like, hey, do we have like a weird vibe, right? And then the person was like, yeah, we do, and then there was I felt like it was deja goddamn vu because we're out. He's on the couch. I'm over there. And I'm just like, God damn it. I hate, why am I only attracting people with wives or girlfriends? And that was harder than the time with the guy with the girlfriend 2 weeks ago that I was talking about because it's a little more involved. But I will say, sticking by your morals, you have to figure out what you value in your life. What do you as a person value? Like, make a list of your values, because that's how I think confidence and self-esteem, really a huge part of that, or a huge channel for that, comes from figuring out what your values are and sticking to them and sticking to your morals. I think I never really would have ever guessed that making the moral decision to not have sex with somebody who already has a partner would give you self-esteem, but it really does. It really makes you I'm in this new zone where I feel like a normal person probably for the first time since the breakup, and really for the first time maybe in my life, just because I'm on my own, I'm older, I'm a more confident person, and I always thought I liked myself, but there was so many instances in my life or stories or things I can look back on and go, that's not something someone does who likes themselves and who respects themselves and who loves themselves. So I exercising integrity in decisions where it's very hard, specifically when sex is involved and you're really, 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 really fucking horny. I remember I was sitting in that green chair and I looked down at I have one tattoo. My best friend and I got matching tattoos. They say WWBD. In Nadine Strawson's handwriting. She's the first female president of the American Civil Liberties Union, and it stands for what would Beyonce do, because I am not a religious person, but I know people who are religious look at Jesus as someone to model themselves after, right? So
sure.
For me, that's Beyonce. And I remember I looked down at my tattoo, which is exactly why I fucking got it, and I was like, this is not something Beyonce would not fuck a married person. She just wouldn't do that. And we parted ways, and it was very hard, but God damn it, I felt so good about myself after that, and I've really been kind of coasting off of that energy of I don't know, just feeling good about it. I've never exercised restraint with sex when it comes to sex, and I've never not fucked somebody that I wanted to fuck, really. I mean, unless they were like, no. And then I was like, okay,
right,
I guess I'll go home. But that's only happened once because I was outside his house. But whatever, it's long. I was like 21. But I just wanted to say, if anybody is dealing with a question of, hey, do I sacrifice my morals? If you do sacrifice your morals to make a decision specifically with sex, I think it's never going to end up well.
Yeah, well, and also,
it's just not. You're not going to feel good about yourself.
Part of the reason it feels so good at the time is because it's wrong. Yeah, yep. Of course. So it's like, say this person did ultimately break up with this 7-year girlfriend and be with you. It would go, the luster would go away pretty quickly, because he would just be another dude who leaves his socks on the ground and chews with his mouth open. Any like stupid things that people do that annoy you. Yeah. Like he would become that person, because no one is that special. I mean, maybe there are a couple people, but I can tell from the email, he's not that person. And someone that special is just not
going to be doing that. Someone that special will have the open communication to communicate with the partner that they currently have, to say, I am not satisfied in this relationship, and make a move somewhere. And I know that being attracted to one person does not, sometimes it has no effect on the other the person you're with. That doesn't mean you love them less or you're sexually attracted to them less. Sometimes shit happens, and that's okay. It's okay to be in a relationship and have feelings for another person. I think that's completely okay. But acting on them, that's where it gets a little dodgy.
Yeah, this to me it was blatant disrespect. Going out to dinner with her and then all together, and everyone at the table knowing.
Yeah, that's rude. That's terrible.
Everyone, that's really,
that sounds like
really
some
shitty.
High school bully shit. Really, and you're better than that. So you should You should make a list of your values and also read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It's really good. So yeah, that's my thing.
Perfect.
How are you?
Oh, I forgot that was going into a personal thing. So it's been an interesting week. I've been on social media too much, but that's just because there's been I've been going on like some deep dives. And I was on the phone with one of my really close friends about a week ago, and kind of in passing, he just goes, well, Frank has cancer, so you must be happy about that. And I was like, oh, what?
Whoa.
I was like, what are we talking about here? And I was just like, my ex Frank? And so I like literally hung up the phone immediately. And then number one in my head, I'm thinking like, I'm like, what? Number one, why would you say that? Because like it wasn't like in a dark joke like way that a comic would say. It was like just someone actually thinking that I would rejoice in my ex having cancer, which I would not. None of them, in fact, would I rejoice. I wouldn't even rejoice in like my worst enemy having cancer, because even if I don't like them, some people certainly do on the planet, and we don't want to hurt those people. And then I was just like, there's just a constant series of occurrences in my life where people who I thought were very close to me and I consider being very close to me say something, or sometimes give me something like a gift that just tells me that they do not know me on such a deep, like that they are so unfamiliar with who I am that it is jarring, and I question my entire relationship with that person. Truly.
Yeah, you've told that to me a lot.
And it happens a lot, and it's a real bummer, and I probably shouldn't put so much weight, but I mean, that's like who. Like, this is a person who's known me for a long time. Yeah. So number one, who the fuck do you think I am? And so that's something I was going through. But obviously the thing I did first was not think about myself. I fucking was like, oh my God, do I have Frank's number still? Because I truly have. And I had to contact him for the book, but I did it via email because I knew that was like something you could get from a website. And but I wanted to call, I didn't call him because he was in the fucking hospital. But so I checked his social media, and I confirmed he did have cancer. And I was like, oh my God, he was alive. So I was like, thank God. And like, it was like, looked like a positive thing. And then I texted him at his old number that, thank God for iPhones. They do really fucking save everything. I have numbers from like 10 years ago. So his old number, I was like, hey, this is Corinne. I don't know if this is, so your number. And he responded right away. And like, we had a very short conversation, and it was nice. But I just wanted to make sure, he did, he had to get, I feel weird saying it. He had to get a testicle removed.
So that's my dad had that. That's actually the most common form of cancer for men in their 30s.
And it was just really interesting because he also kind of talked about in the Instagram post about how he had not been feeling right for quite some time. He doesn't have health insurance. He had gone to like a couple doctors, and they were like, you're too young to have anything wrong in this area. And basically it got to the point where, and Frank, I think we talked about this before, is not as like headstrong as me. So he's not always being like, demanding fucking answers.
Yeah.
And then it just got to the point where he was like literally like bent over in pain, and had to be rushed to the hospital, and then they found out he had cancer. And like he just had a fucking new kid a month ago.
Oh my God.
And then more terrible shit happened. I don't want to kind of go through the whole story just because it's like, I don't want you guys to be able to, I kind of only like to talk about Frank, not other members of the family, just so it's not like so much information, because I don't want everyone like finding him. And I was going to put together a GoFundMe, but then I was kind of like struggling with like, is it worth the money to reveal his identity? And like, I knew, because I offered him money personally, and I was like, I know he's never going to accept this, but I just have to do it because, I do think a lot. Like, even though it was from like a negative perspective, I mean, if Frank had never dumped me, the Guys We Fuck podcast would never exist. We wouldn't have experienced, at least not from this, the success and the money. And like, my life is a lot nicer in many ways because of that. So I was like, I would truly be happy to give him money.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like he's a lot of and he could have been difficult during a lot of parts of this. He could have been difficult about me using his real first name on the podcast, things I've said. He could have been difficult about the book. I had to get true legal clearance, and he truly wasn't at any point. And that was very nice of him, because I've really run my mouth a lot. And I do appreciate that, and I recognize that he could have made things very difficult and interfered not only with my healing, with my art, but also just been hey, stop fucking talking about me.
Yeah.
But anyway, they raised a ton of money. I donate privately and everything, and thank God he has such a good reputation in his community, so people really came out. But yeah, I mean, it was just a thing, and it made me think. I'm if you truly have an ex who if they got cancer, and I'm unless they murdered a family member or a fucking raped you, other than that, I just can't. I truly think you need to see someone or sit with your own demons if you're wishing that any of your exes are dying or getting cancer, because even if the relationship ended poorly,
even if he cheated,
what the fuck? I just don't know. And people say that a lot. I remember my friend's dad died when I was in middle school, and she had been kind of being a bitch lately. And my one friend goes, wow, now she's not going to be able to afford cool clothes anymore. And
oh my God,
what damage has been done to you that is your response to a person's death? I think bleak thoughts. I like to be mean to people. I think it's really funny, but what?
Yeah, that's some heartless shit.
I don't know. So thank God he's okay. Thank God they got after a series of more unfortunate events, the community, that's the case in which a GoFundMe is great, but fuck the healthcare system.
Oh, I know.
It's just the whole thing is a huge mess. And then I was just that's just, I mean, it's just really really unfair for all these bad things to happen at once. And I know there's a ton of bad stuff, and I spend a lot of time thinking why some people get so much bad stuff thrown on them. Your mom is a great example. And then some people just nothing bad,
they just coast
ever, or and in fact they just roll in good fortune. And I don't know.
Shit goes really well for them. It's nothing that.
I don't know, and I'm not mad at those people.
No. It's just, it's curious. It's well, why? It's interesting to find there's no rhyme or reason, I don't think.
Right.
And if there is, fuck if I know. That's
because I was I consider myself somewhere in the just a kind of average, an average neutral, kind of
I'm here.
Just nothing, it's I'm getting everything handed, but not, it's not also not.
You're working for it, but you're
day-to-day
not
trauma. It's just very
not
regular.
Getting, abused physically and emotionally.
By
other people.
So I don't know, but anyway. If anything else bad that happens, we might start a GoFundMe. But
I was gonna say,
there's just a lot of reasons I didn't want to reveal his identity. I didn't want to make it about me being some kind of hero. And he's I'll keep an eye on it. He's okay, and I have offered. It's just it's so weird with money.
Yeah, it is.
It's so weird. You want to help, but then you also just want I think it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I'm because I've never had money in my entire life, and I was always the friend, we would go out to eat after college, with all my college girlfriends, and I would get chips and guacamole, that's all I could afford. But I was I kind of got used to it. But then I'm such a giving, loving person that if anytime I'm with anyone and they're oh, I want this, I'm I'll buy it, and they're can you not do that? That's not how you express love. I'm yeah, sorry.
Well, it is some people's love language.
I like getting things for people or helping, just helping. If I can alleviate, I know how much financial strain can fuck up your psyche, your self-esteem, your perception of what you're worth. I fucking lived that for a very long time, so I understand. So I just don't want people to feel that if they don't have to.
Right. Unfortunately, though, as soon as you start doing that, someone always I already get random messages can I have money? Me a new pair of shoes?
Really?
Just a lot of and just or going out with other people, and they'll just expect you to pay for stuff.
Oh, that
I don't have an unlimited amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Whatever. But anyway, I don't hope any of my exes get cancer.
Yeah, you're an angel.
Thank you.
You're an angel.
Thank you. And I was there's exes I hate much more than Frank. I don't hate Frank at all. He's totally fine.
Yeah, you don't want anything bad happening to them either.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I feel so disconnected from him at this point.
Yeah.
Just like I can't even remember what his body feels like, or like I truly can't. It's just such a distant.
Well, that's,
it's such a distant memory.
That's time.
But I don't, it's not like in a sad way. I don't miss it. It's just like,
right.
It's truly gone through after all these years.
It's cycled through.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Somebody commented, I posted a video on my Instagram because I had a really big party on Saturday night that Corinne was at. I got really anxious, so I had to take a walk.
I know. I showed up. Christina's leaving her own party.
I know. Corinne comes as I'm leaving with a friend, and I'm like, I got to take a walk, Corinne. There's a lot of people in there. She's like, okay, I'll just make sure no one's like knocking over your pictures.
Yeah, I was like,
I really think there were like
150
people in here.
It was a large amount.
Or 200. And like people and I'm very like, if someone wants to come and they heard about it, I'm not going to say no. It was a lot of people.
It was full, yeah.
It was so full. It was more full than I thought that it would get. But then I got really anxious. But then I was like, I'm not going to turn anybody away because that's terrible. And I'm not going to. And if
the Church of Christina.
People are texting. People are texting me, hey, can I bring so and so? I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Oh,
I know. That's the last party I'm going to have like that, though.
This is the difference between us. You literally have a party. Everyone's welcome. I've sent out party invitations that say in bold, no significant others.
I know. You know what I got to do? I got to mail out invitations for the next one.
Oh,
so
my
it's just
God.
Very exclusive, specific group. Not because I don't like everybody, but it's just because you can't have that many people in your house. It's overwhelming. Yeah. So, okay, guys. Our guest. I'm so excited that she is our guest this week. We've been wanting to interview her for a very long time. She's a fucking hilarious stand-up comedian. She's featured in the Netflix stand-up special series called The Degenerates. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lisa Traeger.
Don't stop in the middle of your sentence. I can tell that you've got something to say. I've played all these games before. Never really ends in a fair score for me. And I don't want your hesitant kiss. If it's all you got, baby, I don't need this. Figure out what you wanna do, 'cause I'm not gonna wait around for you to feel it too. Do it if you wanna go. It'll hurt so bad, at least I'll know.
Oh man, Josh taking a shit. Just kidding. We're here with Lisa Traeger. How you doing?
Yay, I'm good.
I'm so excited to
be here.
interview you.
Yeah, I'm pumped. This is a nice place.
Thank you very much. How are you doing? You just we're talking about a carbon monoxide
my
scare, and
alarm
my
went
first thought was, oh my god, so firefighters are in your house?
They were hot. They were hot
Really?
and very nice. I really like them. And I was just scared. I didn't want sirens.
Yeah.
But they just came with the lights, so that was good.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
just didn't want to wake up the whole neighborhood, but it went off in the middle of the night twice, and even after I aired it all out.
If it goes off
Yeah.
again, that's when you gotta like get out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened to me once, and I was like, oh, bonus.
It's crazy. And then the landlord's like mad at me. She's like, you should have called me. I was like, you should apologize.
Yeah.
So there was a propane tank downstairs.
They always do that
And the basement door is locked. And it's like, I'm a grown up. Just leave the key here. So the
Yeah.
fire department had to like
Ooh,
undo the
pry it
lock.
open.
So she was like, but there's damage. I'm like, but there's propane.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? I don't
Landlords
know.
are out of control. I was literally
Out
once
of
stuck
control.
in an elevator that was not even at the floor, so I was between floors.
Did it open?
I had to call the fire department to pry me out of the elevator. I had to step mid-floor through it, and my landlord also yelled at me, and I was like, you're lucky I don't fucking sue you. Are you out of your goddamn
What
mind?
did he yell at you about?
He
For
was like,
calling-
you should have called me. And I was like, to pry me out of an elevator?
Yeah.
Because they get fined when their shit's not up to code, and they know that their stuff.
Well,
is
no,
fucked
because
up.
National Grid or something's supposed to come, and they're like, don't let them in. They'll just make things more complicated. I'm like, well, I'm gonna let them in.
Yeah, because I want the shit fixed. I ain't
Yeah.
trying to die at my home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That shit's real.
Yeah,
Yo.
so that put up, but whatever.
So
They
how
were cute though.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I do want to say that I played with a gray Frenchie puppy with blue eyes.
Oh my god.
That's what this podcast is mostly about. So
I
I'm
just
glad
wanted
we
to
covered
throw
that.
that out.
Amazing. Oh,
Not
puppies.
everything's doom and gloom. I
Yeah.
hung out with a tiny baby puppy.
Oh, that's fun. I want to get a puppy so bad,
Okay.
but they're just because they're so goddamn cute.
I'm
So,
gonna wait till I'm married for a puppy.
oh, that's smart.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna get? Are you
Jesus
planning
will
on
be proud.
getting married
I
soon? You
want
have
to
any?
get married. No, I have no one, but I really would like to get married.
Isn't
Okay.
it boring with no one? It's just boring.
Yeah, I've been. Well, I was always single, like notoriously, so it didn't matter. And then I got out of a relationship that I really liked. I got dumped, and then I've been like for sure, Bridget Jones style depressed. Like I just want to be married.
I feel like okay. So last time I talked to you about a relationship was the only time I talked to you about a relationship.
Yeah.
You were literally on your way to meet a woman for the first time, and you had all kinds of
That's when I saw you. That's so
sex
funny.
toys in your luggage. Was that the relationship that you're freshly out of?
Yeah,
because you
not
mentioned
freshly. Like I got dumped a year ago, but
because I was like I saw you mention
Feels
it
like
in
a week
your Degenerates
Yeah.
special. Okay.
So how did this happen? Because I have a lot of close friends that dated men for a long time, and now they're just like, "Yo, no, I'm dating this chick," and I'm like so in love. I've never had this kind of love. I've never had this kind of
Yeah, it's
sexual
great.
connection. I'm like, maybe I got it wrong. You know, like I wish.
no, it's funny. Like all the dudes had really annoying questions, and then all the women in my life were like, how'd you do that?"
Yeah,
like,
I want to do
it."
that too.
You're a magician.
So yeah, how did it happen?
She was just so hot, and wildly she looked like all the boys I had crushes on as a teen.
Okay.
So she had a very much Nick Carter, Leonardo DiCaprio vibe.
Nice.
She like dressed like River Phoenix in a movie, like white tee. Like so she like looked or has like a boyish vibe.
Yeah.
And hot. And I just thought she was the shit. Like I
How'd
don't know,
you
I just
meet?
fell in love with her. We were both doing a festival in Melbourne.
Oh, she's a comic too.
Yeah.
Okay.
In London, yeah.
Wow, and you just fell in love.
Yeah, we were hanging out and I was like, oh my God.
Were you when those feelings started popping up? Did you question them to yourself before bringing them up to her?
Yeah, I was a mess, but it had less to do with gender and more to do with being I was like so nervous.
Because you liked her so much.
Yeah, I'm just bad at flirting. I'm not very good at it at all. But I knew there was like a time limit, so I had to act on it. But she also had these reservations of like she felt a vibe, but she was like, I didn't want to be some predatory lesbian, like
Right. Trying to
going
convert a straight girl. or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
something like that. But I think she like dropped hints. I don't trust her. Like you mentioned your strap on like the first day we met. So, I don't know. Yeah.
How did that blossom? Like, how did you
Well,
make
we're
it
both
known
a
to
little
her?
insane.
Okay.
Oh, but how we made it known. So we hung out all the time, and finally it was the last night before I left town. So and we were at the party, and my friend was like, "Yeah, you weren't flirting with her. You just kept bringing her water." Like I just am like bad. But then I got enough courage because the Backstreet Boys played, and so we went to go dance. And then I was like, "This is my moment." And so then I was like, I want to make out." And then
That's what you said to her?
yeah.
And
so
she
then
was
we
like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so we made out, and she's like, let's get out of here. We went and had a drink because I was an idiot. Because she was like, let's have one more drink, but let's leave. And that
Yeah.
means let's go back to the hotel. But I'm like an idiot. So I was like, oh, you want to go to the supper club? So I told the driver to take us to a bar, and she's like, I don't want to go to another bar. But we
well,
did.
I would have thought that too because I would have been, you need directness.
I wanted to have one
sometimes.
more Manhattan.
Yeah.
And then we hooked up, and then I had to fly to Sydney. But then, like 2 days later, I bought tickets to meet her in Toronto. Like I
Wow.
was, like there was no beating me, and she was a nutcase too. So the both of us just really like,
Really like clung to each other.
yeah. So immediately started
probably
texting,
intense.
talking all the time, phone sex videos,
Wow.
like, immediately. And then I saw like, but so physically, we were only in a relationship together 4 times. Spanning like a month and a week, but we were
Wow.
together like maybe 5 months or something. 6
Oh my
months.
goodness.
Wow. Wait.
So-
I'm so fascinated by
So
this.
we fucked in 4 different continents, which was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How have you had a sexual
Or
connection
countries.
previous to her? Obviously, it was only with guys, right? I'm assuming.
I had like a group sex thing where there was a girl, and then
that's
I had
fun.
hooked up with a girl when I was like 20, something like 20 in Portland. But it
That's
was
what
like,
you're doing.
yeah.
That's like the name of a lesbian porn. 20 in Portland.
No, for sure. I've tried to do a joke about it because I stayed at an anarchist vegan co-op. That was this like weekend trip. And she was like an airplane mechanic.
Whoa,
She was like a
badass.
But I don't think I was like good at sex at that point or anything like that. But so just loose relationships. But I guess
Yeah.
I never anticipated.
Falling for
Yeah,
woman.
but now I'm like, I'll fuck a dude again or something, or have because then I had a threesome. But I want to marry a woman. Like I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What's different? Obviously, it's the anatomy, but like other than that, between having sex with a man and having sex with a woman.
I just had the best sex ever. So it could have been just her, but like, and I don't want to
and
give it
all
to
my
her. I'm
friends
so
that are
annoyed.
currently dating, all my friends that are currently
I'm so
dating women
annoyed.
for the first time in their lives,
Yeah.
they're telling me the same thing. Best sex they've ever had.
Yeah, it's just like great sex and a good time. But I just am. I might be more gay than I anticipated. Like I don't know. But I like the idea of sucking a dick with another girl.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Like
that's a fun
that's
thing
hot,
to do.
and I enjoy that. But
But you don't miss a dick in you.
no,
Okay.
at all.
Would you ever? So
Because
thought
that would be my fear.
Yeah, the same. Did that thought ever cross your mind? Because that's what I would.
No,
be
I'm.
like,
I
miss
know it's like
dick.
weird. I'm like looking back at all my sexual experience and be like, did I even like fucking these guys? Like
I mean, I didn't like a lot of the times I've had sex, to be honest.
I'm kind of like grossed out, but on a different level, I guess like communicating and like empathy, like just being nice. I don't know. It was just a nice.
Well, that makes the
time, a
sexual
romantical
connection.
time.
Yeah, so much better.
But it was also my first time really being in love too.
Really?
Yeah, because I had one ex-boyfriend, but when I dumped him, I was like over it in a second. Like
Yeah.
I didn't care as much. Like this was the first time where I thought like I was gonna marry someone, and it was really intense. And so I don't know. It could have been lots of different factors.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just want to fuck chicks now.
Wow.
So like the first time though, like with this woman, for instance, because it is scary, like having sex with new body
No,
parts.
I felt like a teen. No, for sure.
Okay, 'cause I was
yeah,
like,
but well,
it
I
feels
bought-
like your first time ever having sex.
Well, I talked about it in the special too. So I did buy a book on how to like go down on girls.
Oh, that's right. You did
Oh.
mention that, and you were like everyone in the audience.
Wait, how do
should
you do
that.
it? Yeah, how? Because I tried to eat a girl out, and I was like, "Was that good?" And she was like, "It was great, but you only did it for like 7 seconds. You got to keep going." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
The fact that there exists an entire book kind of says it's pretty complex.
Well, the funniest part about the book is the first half is just convincing men to read it and want to like. I wish I was like making a joke, but it is. It's like because the book is written. It's She Comes First, but it's written for a dude that had premature ejaculation, and he's a sex therapist, but it's for dudes with premature ejaculation. So his theory is like, if you like please a woman really great up top, then there's less pressure for the fucking, and then you can last longer, you can relax, or if you come fast, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
so that's the first half of the book is like the theory of why men should please women, and like
Wow, it's all
that
it's
still
all
about
convincing.
them. Still.
Yeah.
It's like it's totally all convincing. So I wish I didn't waste so much time reading all that. And then it's just like the second half is just like moves and drawings and stuff like that. But at the time, I didn't even really think about it, but I'm sure it helped for sure. But the first time we hooked up, I did not go down and I was nervous. But then I was like prepped for Toronto.
Did you tell her like, "Hey, is it okay if I
She
don't go
knew.
down on you?" Or is she like she read the vibe?
I mean, it was like a drunken last night before my flight at
Right.
8 a.m. But so no, it was like gonna be kind of sloppy no
Yeah.
matter what. No, she like had to grab my hand and put it on her. I was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll lick it. Okay. How do you
No,
go down?
but
on
then
a
I felt
girl?
like, oh yeah, duh.
Can you give me to?
I don't know. I'm like, I don't. I
Anything you
have
learned
no
from the
idea.
book that men and women alike can learn?
I mean, it's so. I would say like repetitive motion. It doesn't even have to be fast. Just like repetitive,
Okay.
constant, and
For
don't
how long?
stop.
For a while, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like moves with like the front part of your teeth gums
Really?
and some thumb motion, and then mostly it's just like fingers in. It's like so
No one ever-
classic.
no
I
one
just
ever puts their fingers in me when they eat me out.
easy, and like I'd feel crazy, and like I feel so rude talking about it like this because maybe she was like you're. Yeah, but she was just like I don't know. It was very not like the first time I went down on her, like she came.
So
And it
then
took
you're
a
good at
while
it.
for sure, but it wasn't complicated in its. It wasn't complex in the motions.
Yeah.
it's just like being into it and
just keep
sticking
going
down there. Yeah,
Yeah. Was there ever times when you were eating her out where you were like, "Am I done yet?" Or what do I like? Where you
No.
kind of felt lost.
No,
So you were it was very connected then.
yeah,
Because I feel like that's the men that I've had sex with. A couple guys have been really good at it, but some guys just go and then they're done. I'm like, what the fuck? What? No.
No, the
Keep
goal
going.
has to be, so the goal, instead of it being foreplay part of this book, is like the goal is like you should be coming.
Yeah.
And what's fun about fucking girls is like someone can come and then you can still all continue to come constantly.
Yeah.
And like if you're using no one's gonna lose the hard on.
Right,
Like, you
'cause
just
it's a
always have all
strap-on.
these dicks. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun.
So it's like constant hard dicks, and like just coming once isn't like the end of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that
enjoy
sounds nice.
But I'm sure there's dudes out there that are fucking very well.
There
and
are.
like
Oh,
there are,
into
yes.
it, you know, too.
There's some that
but-
are like respect sex and wanting to make a woman come so much that it's like, okay, yeah, no, this is like you're like, I feel like we're on even keel, like, because I'm very pleasing, but I'm like a lot of the time, the past couple guys I've fucked are just, you know, they just won't they won't even finger me. I'm like, no one fingers anyone anymore.
Fingering's my favorite. I don't
Me
even need
too.
a mouth or anything. I love getting fingered.
Just
Yeah, it's my
request
favorite thing in the
it,
world.
Request it. You got to request the
I know.
fingering because people don't think about it. I think especially like dudes and like we're in our 30s. I just
I just want to get
request.
fingered for like 30
I
minutes.
request it.
Yeah.
Over the summer, I was fingered in a car, and it was like the highlight of my summer.
So good.
I loved it.
Also, there were times where we would just this is so fucked because it's like one specific person, but I don't fuck enough. It's really a problem in my life. Like, I wish I was getting it in more, but I'm not.
Why aren't you? Do you attribute it to a schedule? To
No, it's my own problems, and then the people that like me, I don't like them, and the
Yeah.
people, you know, the opposite, vice versa. You need equal wanting to fuck.
Yeah, and that's a rare when.
But I'm not putting myself out there either.
Okay, so you're not like on.
No,
are
I'm
you on
Bridget
apps?
Jones. Like, I'm just like sitting
writing in your
watching
diary.
Housewives, being like, I want a wife, but I'm really not out there at all.
so you're not like on dating apps or anything.
I'm on Hinge. I have not connected with anyone.
Have you
should go on
done
Raya.
the swiping or whatever you have to do? I don't know. I've never been on
in
Hinge.
it. It's just not the way. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
I should give you. I there was a moment where I put my Raya profile of like men and women.
Yeah.
and the chicks are. Whew,
I know. I believe it.
I'm like, what?
yeah,
That
because the dudes are
girl's
just
so
rich,
pretty.
right? Like,
Yeah, or artsy, or something.
Some of them
like
are
that.
super. I mean, there's models.
There's some really
too.
good looking dudes on there. Really good looking dudes. But man, the women.
No one
yeah,
interesting.
but
though.
women are always hotter. It's
I
just
know.
like everyone's better. But I was gonna say, like, sometimes if you just like rub someone's clit, you can make them come in 5 minutes. Like,
Well, you
furthermore-
gotta be good at rubbing it.
Yeah, but it seems so simple. It's just like truly just circles in a slow motion. I was like, okay, well, this
wait,
is great.
After you were dating this girl and you made her come a bunch, were you like, why are men so confused?
I
about
was
this?
already so angry constantly about that, but then it was even more so like now because I was asking dudes for advice. And the reason I got this book is because I do have a guy friend, and no ex-girlfriend can get over him, and all my friends who fuck him are like, he's the best.
Wow.
And so that's what-
Sexually?
at going down on women.
Is he a
Yeah.
comic?
Yeah.
Tell me his name later.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay,
that's
and-
why I bought. But I don't know where I was going with this.
So
I
he's
kinda
good
was
at
like-
going down on women.
He is, but I was just. I don't know. It's just. It just didn't seem that hard. It
Okay.
really didn't.
Yeah.
But it's also like the experiment was only with one person, so she could just be someone who comes a little bit easily. Because
Correct.
I come pretty easily. So, but like we have a lot of listeners who really struggle coming.
Like,
they can't
close
even
your
make
eyes, shut
themselves
the lights
come
off.
on
Yeah,
the
so I
best.
have to like meet someone else and see if my game is strong or just a one-time thing for sure.
Right. Okay. I just don't want anyone feeling like bad at home, like crying, like I've never come, because we do have a lot of listeners who have never come.
No, that wasn't my point.
No,
That's for sure.
I'm just yeah. I was just interested.
I wish it was easier for me to come. I need vibrators, man.
You don't use vibrators.
I do
Oh,
all the
okay,
time,
yeah,
all
yeah.
goddamn day.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
and there's nothing wrong with that, but like I wish. But see, you know, I
But
gotta
we
start
use
asking guys to
toys
finger
all the
me.
time too.
Yeah, I was on, I was out with this guy and. I don't know what prompted me to look this up, but there was this, I came across this New York Times article about this dude who basically like fingers women on a massage table, gives them sensual massages. He's in New York City. And I was like, I'm going to call him because
Yeah.
I read the reviews and the women are like, yeah, I'm not someone who comes. I've maybe come during sex twice in my life. And this guy like makes me fucking come squirt all over the bed. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
That's the reason I'm being mean. It's like
should
not
teach
to make
classes.
people that can't come feel bad, but the people that like when they go into fucking, they're number one. Like
You have to
the
advocate for
goal
yourself.
should be like every dude's goal should be making the girl come before you even get your dick involved.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Absolutely, but there's a lack of interest, and I think that's why there's a lack
Yeah.
of skill, because if you're not interested in something, you're not going to learn, you're not going to pick up that book.
Women
they're
need
just
to
watching
be
porn.
and
Yeah.
women, myself included, I've been guilty of this,
Yes,
especially
me
lately.
too.
Is advocating for yourself. You're like, no, we're not done yet. Like, go fucking eat me out or finger me something.
Yeah, it starts from so young, not feeling you deserve it. Because after the Khaled, DJ Khaled said he didn't go down on his
Right,
wife.
yeah.
I read some article in like a New York Magazine type publication where they talked to a bunch of sex therapists, and they said the majority of couples that they see are actually women that don't let their partners go down on them.
I've heard that a lot too.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is? Because
Because women don't like their bodies, or it's
Yeah.
this thing of the interest. So if like a guy is down there and it's like it seems like a chore, I think our natural energy is to be like, okay, it's fine, like you're done. Because some dude was like, whenever I do it, girls are always like, just fuck me, and it's like because you're bad at it and
Yeah.
they don't know
And they don't
what
want you
to
to keep
say
going.
or do. Yeah,
Yeah. Because how have you ever given criticism during sex? Like a hey, not criticism. That sounds so negative, but like tips, maybe?
Feedback.
Yeah, but I just had a bad relationship where I would communicate that I was not coming and he didn't care at all, and it made me feel like shit, and it was like a fucked up situation.
How long were you in that for?
Like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sucked.
What would he say? He'd be like, I don't
I
care.
mean, it's like bad. It's like he wasn't good.
He's just not
He
a
was
good
sexually
person.
repressed and had issues, and like he took it out on me, and I kind of allowed it.
Yeah.
Was this in recent, like as an
No,
adult?
like
or-
as a 24-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you first have sex?
My senior year of high school, but like with a stranger at U of I went like I was a senior in high school, but my friends were all older, and so we went
And you met a guy where
at a
frat
party. Yeah, at a party. Like he was, just a party.
Was
And
it
we
good
went-
sex?
I wanted to lose my virginity that trip.
Yeah.
I wanted to fuck. I said this, it's like kind of sad, but like I wanted to be more slutty than I was able. Like people didn't want to fuck me, so it sucked.
Would you go
But I
after
wanted to be more
people?
slutty. Yeah, I got rejected all the time, and it's like eventually it's like, all right,
Do you think like what were your methods of like approaching people? Were
probably
you,
not good. If still as a grown up, I was bringing this girl water and like asking to make out after the Backstreet Boys.
That's sweet.
When we had like plenty of times in hotel rooms and dinners and walks.
It's nerve wracking though. I think
Hanging
it's so
out.
nerve wracking. Like
Yeah.
before you've actually had sex with the person and you know you want to, that is such an anxiety inducing situation for me that I don't know. That's why I like alcohol.
I'm just really good. What the most sex I have is usually like when I want to have sex, when I'm like, okay, it needs to happen, and I go on Tinder or I go to a bar if I'm like, I'm gonna fuck someone,
Yeah.
and then I meet someone that I connect with and then fuck. So that's usually the situation. So I would usually tell those people how to fuck me the way I want.
Oh, that's good. And they would do it.
Not always, but yeah.
How'd you learn
Pure
about sex?
deviance. Not. I think just from movies, sex ed, and friends. Like
Yeah.
I never had parents talk about it at all.
Okay, so your parents just like didn't bring it up
Never
at all whatsoever.
Never.
Are
We
they
would like
religious?
leave during sex scenes. Like we
Oh,
do
I would
not
do that,
communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your parents are both immigrants, right?
Yeah.
From
The former Soviet Union.
Okay.
So we're Russian. There's just no talking about anything.
Wow. Shit.
Ever.
do you have brothers or sisters?
I have an older sister. We didn't really talk about anything. She's 10 years older than me. Like I really no
Damn.
sex conversations. It was all from like slutty friends and sex ed and like TV
Slutty
movies.
friends are the shit because
So
they
in
really give you all the
college,
tips.
I had like a fucked up freshman year of college. I like fucked everyone, and it was like bad, awful
How
sex everywhere.
how you mean everyone? Like
Because I lived in a dorm that was like co-ed by floors, so we would just get hammered and like ride the elevators and like just fuck people in the common areas and in all the dorms. and
Wow.
what an
all
orgy.
over
That's like an
college.
orgy.
And I'd fuck like multiple people in one night. I was just like running around
Nice.
fucking at parties.
Whoa.
Loved fucking in the shower, and I was just like fucking
Wow.
everyone. But I don't think I was like having great sex at all.
What
I
were
can
you-
be sure of that.
What itch was that scratching then? If it wasn't for if the sex wasn't good and you weren't coming or you weren't.
I wanted it. Like I knew it was gonna be good. Like I wanted to get to the place where it was like,
Practice, catching up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
maybe
could
that.
see. Yeah. There is a time when it's just kind of fun and it's not even like the quality of the sex. You're just like, I've been let out of like my cage and I can do
Yeah.
anything the fuck I want to now. So I'm going to do it all. Like I've definitely done that. It's fun. It's great.
Then you get real horny and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna compartmentalize this. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I would love to right now have like a great fuck buddy, cool, great situation, casual dating, but liking someone or being fucking married.
is hitting on.
Those are very opposite.
I just want like a connection, like a good
Yeah.
situation. I just want a good, consistent sex situation with like a nice base of friendship.
So with the relationship that you got out of a year ago, like since you guys were only like in person 4 times,
Yeah.
what was the emotional part of that relationship? Was it strong?
It was really strong and it was really intense because you're just talking and you miss each other. It was like too much because then you have this week of intense stuff and then it was like really depressing.
Yeah, 'cause then
after you
when
leave
that's
each
over.
other. And there's a lot of pressure on the trip, you know.
Of
'cause, like,
course,
to
yeah.
have a fun thing, like all the things, show you the dinner because you're going to your towns, and then it's like you want to get all the fucking in, and then yeah, there's just like a lot to do, and there's like a lot of heightened emotions, and like
Yeah.
you're feeling so connected into each other, and then it's like dunzo,
Yeah.
and then. It was like sadness. It was like hard to deal with the separation. But every day it was like too much communicating constant.
Oh,
That's what I was going to ask. Like, I
Codependence.
feel like this is possibly just an ignorant stereotype, but I feel like a woman being in a relationship with another woman, I feel like the emotionally would be so much more intense.
Yeah, it was
Just
just
'cause
like
women
honest,
feel
open,
more-
immediate, like such in tune compliments, nice things. I mean, she's also like a little bit of a psycho, so she.
How? Yeah, and you said you're also a little bit of a psycho.
Yeah.
How so? What is your psycho?
But
what's
so
the
I
most
was
psycho thing you've ever
but I
done?
was depressed for about 6 months. So then I started therapy, and then what I realized, because I've never been to therapy, it's like a lot. She just gave me a lot of everything that I've been craving and wanting and didn't have. And I had even like growing up, like I wasn't brought up in an emotionally communicative home. Not
Yeah.
a bad home. I felt loved and stuff, but never said I love you. Maybe 5 times in my whole life.
Wow.
We didn't really like hug or tell each other about our days. It was
You were just kind of there.
Yeah, but they were always at my, I always say like they were at my swim meets, they were at my plays, they took me places. I always had what I needed. We played games, like we went to the botanical gardens and the zoo. We did stuff,
Yeah.
but there wasn't emotional
Connection.
closeness in any way or affection and intimacy.
It's like a relationship with me.
Are you an Aquarius?
No, I'm a Libra, but I was like, oh, I love trips, but I love trips and games, but not
Not
hugs.
talking.
No, so I never had it. And then even with my ex, he was pretty withholding too. And so then she just gave it all to me. So then when it went
Wow.
away, I finally got this thing that I've always wanted. And then when it went away, so like all like the sadness and the whole and the depression I had was even more than just like her in this relationship. And I had to like learn that.
Yeah.
And so see outside of that. So my feelings towards her aren't like bad. But but yeah. She's like,
So you're still in
she
the.
told me not to say certain things about her on podcasts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to keep
So I'm
some
not
stuff.
going to say the word. Yeah, but she's a little crazy, and I am too. My crazy, I'm
Yeah, what's your
codependent.
crazy like?
So what I learned in my it's like I don't know how to be independent. So in my first relationship, what I would do is like I wouldn't do fun things to hang out with this person, and then I would resent him for not living my own independent life. Like
okay.
very like I want everything.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
you expected him to know and to give all that to you without.
Yeah, my communication sucks
What?
Working
But
on
is
it.
it getting better?
for sure.
What? Well, I mean,
Always
obviously that's from
working.
the parents because I feel like parents really shape the person.
Yeah, like
so
we
the
never
first people you meet.
communicated. So like we would fight. Let's say we would yell at each other. Then it would be silent treatment for as long as we'd see, and then we would just ignore it and pretend like nothing happened.
Whoa! So there was no resolution.
So no one's ever apologized in my house or been like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that." Like, so that's something that I've had to like learn as an adult on my own through my patient friends and enemies.
Do you think your parents like
Hmm.
need that too, or do they? Cool? Are they cool? Like, do you talk to them a little bit more in depth now that you kind of have these?
Oh, because we also have
communication
this
skills?
language weird thing. It's they're older. So my parents are 80 and 73.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And I'm 31. So my dad was 50 when I was born. So that's a thing. They didn't speak English. So my Russian isn't like I can't communicate to them in Russian as well as I speak in English, and they don't really understand English.
Wow.
So there's
Has
also
that always
this
been the
language.
case?
Yeah, my Russian used to
Damn.
be better though because I was in the home constantly talking to them, and so now I'll only talk Russian really with like Uber drivers or Lyft drivers and
Wow.
stuff. Yeah.
So you really never had. Wow, that is quite literally a communication barrier with your
Yeah.
parents. That's
Yeah.
got to be.
And then my sister moved out very young because she's 10 years older than me and married her high school sweetheart. So like,
Wow. What did you do around the house? Like,
so, no, that's why I just watch TV. So that's like my big addiction now is like I smoke weed and I like retreat and I need to be alone and watching TV. So
Yeah.
we all sat in separate rooms watching TV all the time.
Wow.
So I'll watch like 10, 15 hours of TV a day.
Wow.
Like I'll
so
watch
when
it
you
at
met
night.
Impressive.
So that actually, God, okay.
Like I'll wake up so that's what my big therapy is, like getting out of the house, doing things,
Yeah.
like not retreating and like being open and communicating.
So wait,
putting
is there
myself
a
out
carbon
there.
monoxide leak, or you just need to get out in an hour? Is that like this is like
Or
a
you
big-
wanted somebody to come over and
No, but this is the wild thing is this is the second time the alarms have gone off. The first time I didn't ignore them. I opened all the windows and stuff, but yeah.
But if there is a leak, you gotta that happened to me once when I lived on 96th Street a few years ago, and I called 911 and they were like, open the windows, and if it beeps again, you're fucked. Like get out. And apparently the pizza restaurant below my apartment, they left their oven on and it was like minutes away from exploding the whole building. So I'm like,
oh my god.
okay,
Not
but
to
they
make you
had
nervous.
yeah. I mean, yeah, your situation's probably fine because their fire department.
No,
already-
but I do I schedule schedule everything I can to get me out of the house.
That's good.
Podcasts are good.
yeah, you have to. Yeah.
And now I live far from the city, so like once I'm out, I have to be out and stuff.
That's good. Are you comfortable doing that now? Like I'm imagining when you first
I'm getting
started.
better, but
Yeah.
there's like good and bad. Sometimes I just will not leave.
Do you ever have
And
people?
I have a
like,
bodega like not even half a block away, and sometimes they'll still see. Like I just don't like leaving.
get delivery.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I do that too, though. But I mean, you have to go out and do shows a lot.
Yeah.
You get booked a lot.
Yeah. So I do shows at night, so that gets me out. For
And
Right.
you hang and talk and stuff. Do you like it, or you're like, this kills me?
It depends. I just have to be in the mood. I'm like
Yeah.
definitely an extra. Like I like to chat and hang out and to be social, but I can't fake it. I'm
Yeah.
not like, you know what? I'll go to the club and feel better. Like if I'm not 100%, I can't be into it. So
Yeah.
If I want to leave, I want to leave. Like I don't want to wait for a friend. Like but when I'm in the mood to go out, I love it.
Yeah,
I think that's like most people.
That's to strike you. Yeah, I'm a little
I can't
too
like just
extroverted.
go out dancing. Like I have to be like, yes, we're going dancing. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
you wanna
I
be
can't
amped for
casually
it.
dance. But when I see like people just being social at bars on the weekends, when I walk past it, like I can't imagine doing that. I went out and with like regular like fun friends Saturday night after shows, and it was like, oh, this is what people do.
Yeah. Sometimes
weird.
it could be fun, but then when you hang out at afterwards at a comedy club and you're like, this sucks, and you're like, that's a waste of my time. I'm gonna stop going out. Like it kind of makes you a little.
Yeah, because I like the shows, but you do sometimes see the same people all the time, and most of the people right now, like, no, there's great friends in comedy.
Yeah.
But I just started hating most the white dudes everywhere around me, and so now I ignore so many people that sometimes it's not fun.
Yeah.
So
like,
what,
like
what is
physically
it besides obviously like the general stuff that everyone knows? Is there anything more specific beyond like the state of the world and society that?
No, it's like all these people I thought were great. Suddenly, you just hear their perspective post-election, or like post Me Too or post Women's March. You just hear people say things, and you're like,
You never really heard them
Oh.
comment on that issue before.
"Oh, okay, yeah, I don't want to talk."
And this is in conversation or in jokes?
Conversation.
Okay.
Oh, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, so we're hanging out, and then it's like, oh, you think women just have to go to the police, and that's the big problem? Or like
Yeah.
afterwards, someone and he has a daughter was like, why are the women even marching? Like, what's wrong? Like,
Oh, boy.
it's equal here. What's so bad you have to march? And it's like, I don't want to explain it to you. I'm
Yeah.
tired and busy, but I'm gonna ignore you forever. I can't. I'm just tired. Or it's just minor things. It's honestly so minor, and I'm sure a lot of these people have great spirits in other ways, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't have time.
With
Yeah.
that, yeah, but I feel like the conversation has been centered around this lately, and so to hear somebody just be totally tone deaf about it, it's like I don't even want to waste time explaining it to you. I'm just gonna go because it's depressing me. The fact that people don't get it in that way, I don't know, or at least just listen. That's my problem. Like, don't.
No,
like,
they
if you're,
think
if
that
you're
they're
confused about it,
victims.
listen. Yeah.
Well, I was really excited. So this is like one of those examples where it's so tiny that it's like you shouldn't completely cut a human out because of this. But he said a couple other things. But I came from a doctor's appointment, and I was like, oh my God, it was incredible. Everyone in the office was a black woman. Everyone that worked there was a black woman. That was so cool. And his response was, yeah, I know. White men are the worst. They're the worst as long as there's no white men around. And I was like, truly, this has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And if you knew anything about anything, you know that black women die because of doctors' negligence and not listening to them more than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting to have doctors that are people of color that are going to look into and give good advice and
Yeah.
Be there. And if you want a white dude doctor, they're all over Manhattan. So you can
Everywhere.
go, what does this statement have to do with you? And so many of them are unable to see outside of themselves.
And that's the
that
privilege
it's
right
just
there.
frustrating.
Because it's like one little thing doesn't have to do with you. You have to make it about yourself. How do you not see
and so it became
that?
exhausting. You know, I read something like in the beginning, it's like arguing with these dudes about like your like feminism is like, okay, maybe I'll get to you, or like, oh, this is good. And this is like what I've been reading about my whole life, and we could talk about it. And then after a year or two, you're like, fuck all of you.
Yeah.
None of you want to change. You just want to waste my fucking time. And I saw Ava DuVernay speak at a Ms. Foundation thing. And she was obviously speaking on race things on top of just gender. But she's like, they keep us down talking about all of these issues and being busy with all this racism and sexism that we're not creating and advancing and doing great shit because we're busy fucking fighting with you guys.
Yeah, and explaining.
So after I heard her say that, I'm like, I'm not talking to anyone that is wasting my time. I'm gonna just be with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I could see how that would, that's probably an easier fucking time for you too. Cause it's like,
I'm done.
Because every time I've ever tried to explain it to people and I always think I'm going to get through and I just never do.
Well, do you guys watch BoJack?
I have,
BoJack,
yes, sometimes.
It's my favorite show
It's a good
ever.
show.
But that gun, when Diane likes the gun and then she
Yeah.
writes the piece for Girl Crush,
Yeah.
like, about like, you can pretend to understand and you guys can nod your heads and listen, but you truly don't get it. And it's shown by your actions time and time again
Yeah.
as like a population.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just stopped. And that might add to, I did get really mad though, because someone was like, oh, is that why you fell in love with women? Because you've had like bad relationships with men, and that bothered me so much.
Yeah.
But
That's a very annoying statement.
it's rude.
It's annoying.
But
yeah.
I will say sometimes though, when you try and like communicate or connect with a guy and it's like tone deaf guy after tone deaf, like that has that little like, well, why has everybody so pissed? Like, there is a part of me that's like, I know you cannot choose your sexuality, but I fucking wish I wasn't attracted to the guy I don't like. You know what I mean? The person I hate. I hate that I also want to fuck that person.
Yeah, and this is like new to me. You know,
Not all men,
your
but-
eyes only open when you experience stuff. Sometimes it is hard to see outside yourself. And this was one of those things where people said the craziest shit to me when I started dating her that I was like, oh
Like
my
what?
God. Well, one guy was like, well, if you're using a strap-on and it's not a real dick, how do you guys even connect? And I was like,
What?
you cheat on the mother of your children. Like, how dare you? And my best friends are a married lesbian couple with a baby, and they're like the most beautiful parents. They have the most loving relationship. They're like my idols and what I want. And just like, I love the way they communicate and treat each other and love each other. And it's like, you think that because of you have a dick, you have a stronger connection than like, I don't know. It just annoyed me. And I'm sure like
That's infuriating.
he didn't even get why I was so mad. But I was like,
He never will.
suck.
Yeah. And I know some maybe like two straight couples that I'm like, man, you guys are so good together, and it's mutual, and it's you respect the shit out of each other, and it's wonderful. But the women couples that I know, it's so much more passionate.
Yeah, and
Then
so this is
overall-
just new to me, but I'm sure other people have noticed this for a long time. But I got a Cosmo on a flight recently, and it's just so heteronormative in such an insane way. And it should have been
Yeah.
obvious to me, but it was the first time I've had it. Like, I bought one in years.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is unreadable filth, but also like, I wonder if
So
gender.
you meant the drink for a second.
Oh.
Okay, the magazine.
Yeah.
The
I
magazine.
love Cosmos to drink. They're a boozy
really
Like,
drink.
I could see you drinking a Cosmo, and I was like, wow, you're fancy. Okay.
I love Cosmos.
Okay. So you're reading Cosmo. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
and I
yes.
just wonder if more openness and falling in love with a person versus genitals and like gender kind of moving will open up lots of, like, I wonder how many people are blocked off because
So many. Because that's what you're taught.
yeah.
Yeah. The Cosmo and Sex and the City are how I learned about sex.
I love Sex in the City.
I love
so much.
I actually still watch it, and I
all
like
the
it.
time.
I used to criticize it because I know Corinne and I used to talk about like, oh yeah, the men are so important and more important. But I really do think I've rewatched the series like 5 times.
It's
and
about friendship.
It is about friendship, and no, but they like their friends are there at the end of the day, and guys come and go.
They are, but they waste a lot of time on men. But in defense of Sex in the City, they cover a lot of shit that we're still recovering now, years and years and years, decades later. Like, I feel like Sex in the City and like South Park call and cover a lot of things that we're still dealing with today. And it's like, why is this not even? We haven't even made progress on this. In fact, we've regressed on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
But it's just because sometimes,
right.
and I've realized it, and I always hate it when like a lot of women, like Lady Gaga said stuff like this, and this happened on Love Island, my favorite show. But when girls are like, I would hook up with a girl, but like, I want to have kids and be with a man. Or like, I had a threesome with this couple where the woman was fucking gay. Like, I knew, you know what I mean? She kept being like, I just like being with girls. And her husband kind of sucked. And it was this weird thing where I'm like, oh, you're fucking gay, dude.
Yeah.
But a lot of women think that you need to be with the dude to have a kid, or like that's the unit you need. And so much of our worth and value is attached to that. And I just wonder if it was like a little looser, if like boys could just make out and girls wouldn't be so disgusted about going. Because it's always like, I just don't want to go down on a pussy. And it's like, you're being crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine if you're attracted to dick and you're just straight. Like, what's funny is all my friends that are super gay were always like, you're so straight. We could have never imagined. But I don't know. I didn't even think about it. And I don't know. It's weird when like women are so grossed out by that idea.
By going down on a woman?
Yeah.
I think it's more.
But I also don't want to illegitimize people that are just like straight.
That are just straight.
Yeah,
you know?
that's not what's keeping me. It's the talking. Honestly,
You're just cold aloof.
It's like
you don't want to talk.
It's too much. I mean, but I always have lived my life, even before all this talk of gender and sexuality, of like, just kind of been like, I've only fallen for guys, but I do keep it open. I certainly wouldn't, like, if I felt vibes with a woman, I certainly wouldn't be like, she's a woman, this isn't on the table for me.
Yeah.
So like, my soulmate could still be a woman. I don't know. I'm not sure. I had a crush on Marcella in 8th grade, so it's all up in the air, you know. I do like penises a lot, though.
Yeah, I do too. I think some of the problems that maybe women might have with going down on a woman is just like, well, I have a vagina, so I should be really good at this, but I'm probably not going to. That was the only thing that was in my head.
Because we're very hard on ourselves.
It's very intimidating, for sure.
And so that was my thing, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Just reading it like with fresh eyes was very like, oh, this is weird. And how is Reverse Cowgirl just still being written about?
But it's all how to please a guy.
Thing.
Like I feel like it. I don't know, but I haven't read Cosmo in a while. But I feel like it still focuses on like how to please your man. When it's like, well, you should just be asking for what you want too.
Yeah,
because where do guys learn how to please women? I don't know. Some of them do, but some of them really couldn't give a shit.
Well, even when I do crowd work about this topic with audiences, like a lot of them are like, porn. And it's like, you're an idiot. Like they're playing for they're performers. They're like doing something very specific. Yeah. And Kate Willett has a funny joke about how when you know, I forgot what the joke is, but it is very funny. But this idea of like, you could tell when someone watches a lot of porn by the way they fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know, you can tell that sometimes you can even tell what video they got it from. You're like, oh, you're not even present in your own body. You're just mimicking what you saw once when you were jerking off. And it's just like, we got to stop.
But that is a good question, though, because like there are plenty of tips for women to have sex with men. So like there are a couple books out there. Obviously, you found one, but they don't get it. They don't read it, and they don't care. And like women, like you said, like we're not vocal enough. It's just such a side.
It feeds into it.
And it's like women having a good time during fucking is so far away from men's or like hetero dudes' point of view. I feel.
What kind of porn do you watch?
I watch lots and lots of different porn. I'm like a connoisseur, so I'm really have to be in the mood. But I also I'm into the specific performers.
Oh yeah, me too.
As well. So like I'll follow someone's career through different categories.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like someone in specific stuff. But I would say the main my site that I pay for is kink.com. That's
I love kink.com.
Yeah. So I love because even though it's
like
pay
rough, for porn, that's good.
Yeah, even though it's rough in like the public disgrace and like the upper floor sex parties, they are really coming, and there is everyone's cheering for the women to squirt and have a good time, and so it is like this vile kind of like everyone's being passed around. It is sometimes pretty insane, but it's like. I don't know. They want them to have a good time. It's a little real. Yeah,
one of my favorite porn videos is this porn star. She gets fucked at a party, and there's like guys and girls all around, and no one at the party fucks her fingers or anything like that. But it's just her and this fucking smoking hot dude, and the dude is really good at having sex, and they're just cheering for this girl to come. And I'm like, this is the best porn. It's my favorite porn. I've watched it all the time.
Yeah,
there's something about that mentality that I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, they're all like freaks. I hate when they like pan to other people at the party, and they're just like so ugly. Like I want my hot girls.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Yeah.
But I love I love someone getting fucked from behind and then going down on someone. So I watch like threesomes, I guess. I watch a lot of threesomes, public stuff, gangbangs, but I love just hot lesbian.
Yeah, lesbian. A lot of women will write us and say that they're straight, but they love lesbian porn the most, and that's like all they consume. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like they're having the most fun.
Well, and I like so Nikki Hartz is my favorite, and
I don't know who that
love
is.
her till I die. So she's like the hottest ever, but she's like butchy. So she's tatted up completely, and she fucks girls with
I
a
gotta write
strap
this-
on,
yeah.
like you would not believe.
Really? I
Like
wanna write
the
this
after
down.
interviews are always. So I bought out,
NIKKI.
yeah, Nikki Hartz, and her wife is Lee Raven, and she's a porn star too, all tatted. They're both just like hot tatted babes, and they'll fuck dudes sometimes. But like Lee now does a lot of like straight porn, but Nikki directs too. So what they would do, how I found them was, they would like
is that her?
one of them would hold the camera.
Ooh, she's hot.
And the other one would fuck a girl, and they would be in a hotel room. So like they kind of film each other fucking, which I like.
Yeah.
But Nikki, like, with Kink, she's done a few, and the after interviews, like the women are just like, what's your favorite part? They're like, besides getting fucked by Nikki. And like one time, she fucked this girl, Goth Charlotte, on just like a side, on a side futon in a hotel, and like Domino's Pizza came in the middle of the fucking, and the wife was taping, and another porn star friend was watching, but like. She fucks this girl so like she can't walk at the end. She's like, I can't even stand up. That's like the best I've ever fucked. There's this other one I bought of hers on ManyVids where she's fucking this girl, and afterwards she's like, I've never felt so connected. This was the best girl I've ever done. Like grabbing, kissing her. Like
Whoa.
she just fucks the shit out of girls, and it's like the hottest thing
Wow.
ever. And then her and her wife really love each other. So like watching them fuck is pretty fun. So
Wow.
that like I really like those are my ride or
dies.
And then some women I just like, I love everything about like their porn's not my favorite to come, but I'm just impressed. So Adriana Chechik, like she to me, like I give her money on OnlyFans. I have to, my debit card, there was fraudulent. I have to re-up
You
it.
have to replace the number.
You're so good to sex workers.
yeah, you really are. No,
yeah, I
it's good.
try
You
to.
should
It's
pay for
important.
porn. Yeah,
and I follow them online, and I'm always telling people like, if you don't want to pay for it, I get, because the big businesses actually own everything, and they're not paying the girls that well anyways.
Right.
But if you just buy girls gifts on their Amazon wish list, or pay for their premium Snapchats, or like buy a fleshlight, like there are just ways to directly support your favorite porn stars.
yeah.
Since they don't get residuals and
Absolutely.
stuff. And how much porn is just being stolen. And all the main companies own the free sites.
Right.
So one company
a
owns
monopoly.
Brazzers, Pornhub. Like,
Yeah, John Ronson did a fucking
Yeah.
the Butterfly Effect, and he talked about that and how just they don't get paid. At
Yeah.
all. It's fucked.
unless you're like a huge star, but these girls are working 24/7. It's like constant Instagram, constant one-on-one things, cams, and they're working almost every day.
Yeah,
And
I wonder, like, how
but the
I wonder-
top of the line girls that are making they love it. They're just
Yeah.
like fucking.
And you could tell, like, the woman Nikki Hart you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you can, like, when someone is actually coming in a porn, you know, like, you can tell it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And I always wonder. I think that's part of the reason why straight guys tend to not be as connected to pleasing the woman, because a lot of times in straight porn, the woman will be like, and then he'll be like, yeah, I did it. And I feel like the dude's just watching at home like, okay, yeah, that's a girl coming. I'm like, that is not a girl coming.
But what does that say about the male fantasy that it doesn't include their partner's pleasure?
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
if dudes loved women really coming in a more authentic porn, that's what the industry would be. It's mostly
Yeah.
men that are consuming. So it's made
Yep.
for them. So
It's
the fact
easy
that
and
they're
it's
not
quick.
even interested in hearing real noises is like crazy. But I know a lot of dudes that watch amateur and like, a lot of dudes that had to stop watching porn because they watched it so young. Like I didn't start watching it till in my 20s. So
that's
and a
good.
lot of porn stars like are very much like do not watch it before you're 18, and they really don't like when young teens watch it at all.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think people just start a lot of things too early, and then it's like, what do you do when you're older? Because you just have to go harder and harder, and like at a certain point, there's nothing left in the world. Like I feel like that way about like drugs, alcohol. I'm like, guys, if you're doing like hard drugs when you're like 18, I don't know what you're gonna do when you're 40 and you really hate your life. Like you're gonna need something else. That's like my advice to everyone. But question: did you watch lesbian porn before you had a relationship with a woman?
Yeah, but not as like sometimes now I will watch real couple, like real quote unquote real lesbian couples fucking. I liked a dude there. Like it would be women and
Okay.
a guy. Or yeah, there was always women and dudes, but it wasn't as like once I found Nikki Hart's,
Man, I can't wait to watch.
it really changed.
Does she use strap-ons?
everything.
Does she like fist or does she?
Like she just fucks girls great with a strap on. There's always vibrators, but she's fingering people, going down on them. I don't know. It's just like romantic and hot.
And
but
do they
rough.
make strap-ons? They probably do, but like that you put on and it like stimulates your clit too. Because I tried to fuck my ex with a strap-on once, but it didn't hit. I was like, it'd be nice if it hit the way
I know
areas I wanted
they make
it to hit.
vibrating ones.
Oh, okay.
And then like so you buy like a little vibrator bullet and you put it inside.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I know some people can come from fucking people with
Yeah.
a strap on. I can't imagine that working for me. Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable. That's the one thing. Like, I don't know. I get uncomfortable thinking about wearing a strap on and fucking someone.
Oh, really? So you never have?
What is it
Yeah,
about
I'll
that?
hold a dildo and I'll finger some. I'll do whatever.
made me
but
feel
made me-
like- it didn't
but
feel
I bought
right
the
when I did
underwear.
it.
I bought like the harness. I have the
harness.
equipment.
Yeah.
I have all the equipment, but it truly, I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. It's like not my natural cup of tea.
Because for me, like, I wouldn't want, like, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I don't like feeling masculine because I feel very masculine in my real life.
That's a perfect way. That's exactly how I feel. That might be it.
Because I was like, because
And I'm out of shape. Like, I don't even know if I can handle it.
It's a lot of thrusting.
it's a lot of work. I know it's tiring. That's funny. Do your parents know that you want to marry a woman? Is that
I don't know. So I
Probably don't.
They
based
don't.
off your communication record with
Yeah.
them.
So we don't really communicate. And so I was going to tell him immediately. And my sister was like, I think, because I was like, I'm in love. I'm going to get married. And she's like, why don't you just wait a couple weeks? She's like, I think it's weird to, like, you just met someone and you're fucking and you're going to tell them in a month. Like, you wouldn't just, like, relax.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
kind of was annoyed that I couldn't just tell them, but I was like, whatever. And then when she came to visit, I was like, after our visit, I'm going to just, like, have to tell them because they're going to have to meet her. And then she just dumped me. So I didn't say anything. And then I was like, do I just tell them? And it felt weird not communicate because I was like sad and my parents knew something was up because I was so sad for so long, but I just didn't. We don't communicate.
Yeah.
So I couldn't talk to them about it. And then I talk about dating a girl in my special, and I asked my therapist if I really had to tell them or if they could just find out from the special. And she's like, I have no problem with them just watching the special, and they can come to
Really?
you.
Well, because that's
Yeah.
how you've never talked.
Yeah.
really?
So-
That's so fascinating that
used
your
to.
therapist recommended that.
She didn't recommend
Or
it.
like was
She
okay
was okay
that.
with it.
Therapists do okay weird things sometimes, though. They really do.
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to do that was crazy, and she was like, all right. And then when I told her I wasn't going to do it, she's like, yeah, I mean, it was insane. So
Well, I think sometimes you have to allow people to make their own mistakes because you're going to
you
learn
learn.
a lot more as long as it's not going to physically or really mentally harm you deeply.
Yeah.
You're going to learn more from making the mistake than from like your therapist just saying, don't do it.
yeah, I don't know. And
What was the thing
what
that you wanted to do? And your therapist was like,
I was going to get lipo.
Oh, I heard it doesn't like I talked to a lot of like rich ladies and apparently it doesn't really like stay. It's super painful and it doesn't like it's not a lasting effect.
That's so interesting because what deterred me was I heard that once the fat is frozen from that part of the body, it can never grow there again.
Yes,
So then
that's
it
true.
grows from like
Somewhere
weird
else.
place. So you have to commit to a really healthy lifestyle. And if I can't do it right now, I don't know if I need the pressure of like having fat grow from like weird
from like
places
your
in my
leg
back.
only or something. Yeah. Well, do you ever watch like My 600-Pound Life? Because
No.
Okay, so I love this show. There's a doctor on it. He's like, it's the same doctor every episode, and basically, like, yeah, even these people who are crazy, like 600 obese, 600 pounds obese, even more sometimes. He makes them lose like a good 100 to sometimes 200 pounds on their own because he's like, yeah, I can give you the what's the lap band or whatever. But he's like, yeah, if you're just you can like burst that if you don't commit to the lifestyle on your own. So that's absolutely right. And then also like if you lose weight, you can do other things like cool sculpting.
Yeah, it's like I also have to just do. I'm not doing any of the proper things. To
Yeah, I
have
was
a
like,
good
don't just
life.
get lipo. It's also
Exactly.
a huge way. It's a stressor on your body to get
No,
rid
it
of
was an
that.
insane thing to even think. But
I'm actually
did.
worried that she said okay though because I could have like.
No, I think she knew because I wouldn't have done it right away. So she was like,
Right.
yeah, like
so
the
you're
next
impulsive
week
in
I was
thought,
like,
but not in action with that.
yeah, because I was gonna have to because I was gonna go to just someone that was on the Real Housewives, and then I looked up Sonia Morgan's, and he only had 2.5 stars.
No, you want at least.
And then I
4.
wasn't impressed.
I need 5 full stars
Yeah.
if someone's chopping open any part
Yeah,
of my
it was
body.
just like I wasn't gonna go through all the things. I don't know what was happening in my brain. I'm glad I didn't do it, but that was the thing where I don't know how we got. Oh, so she did tell me, she's like, I want you to talk to them about it, because how do they love you fully if they don't know you fully, and like, why are you hiding things?
Okay.
And they're trying to be more open with me and communicate and stuff. I don't know, it just makes me uncomfortable. It's like a journey on that. But a part of me, and I don't know if that's like rude, a part of me is just like, yeah, if I'm when I meet someone, I'll just bring them home and be like, this is the person.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to talk to my 80-year-old Russian dad about like being a queer weirdo. Like, I don't know if that's what I want to do.
I agree, because that was never your method with your family to begin with.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden being like, Dad, I want to tell you something. I met a woman, and I know, but it's just bring her home, and he'd be like, okay, hey.
Because I told like I'm talking about it, I'm not really embarrassed, but yeah, it makes me uncomfortable to talk to my parents about it in any way.
Yeah. So are you identifying as queer, as lesbian, as nothing, as a person?
No, I'm just a person, but I'm probably like pretty gay. But
You're
but
probably
I'm not
pretty gay.
attracted to. I don't know. I just don't have an answer, but a lot of people want to have an answer, and everyone has their own. Because like some lesbians, like when they find out that, and they're like, oh, so you're gay now? I'm like, I don't know. Like they want me to be super gay, and then like it's always like, are you gonna still fuck God? Like I don't know. Everyone wants me to choose, and I don't know.
But
I think I'm gonna be with a woman.
Everyone needs you on their team, because that was another question I had. Like if there were lesbians who were like angry at you or questioning like if you were actually gay or if you're just like gay.
Lesbians I think get really excited.
They're very excited.
They're like so pumped.
Okay.
They're like welcome, like ever, like so much happier. Like they're so excited. Yeah, they love it.
Okay, cool.
I have not the only bad like I had somebody like, so you're dating women, what's your type? And then like I don't know, like well, because my ex is bi, and she like sometimes if she talks about fucking dudes, like lesbians will boo her.
Oh,
Like they don't want you fucking guys.
Wow.
Sometimes I don't know. Everyone's like a weirdo. I just don't have any like answers for anybody.
you just go with you go with what you feel.
But I don't want to deny being gay, because that's even more embarrassing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
but
the slow burn.
you're figuring it
coming
out.
out.
I think that's really what it is.
I just want to be in love.
Yeah.
And be in a really good relationship.
Why did you get dumped?
I mean, it was long distance.
Yeah.
And we were not gonna move. Are you taping more? Busy nut.
But this is not the time that anyone should be here, so
okay.
It's way early. They would have come over 30 minutes early.
Oh wow.
Which I just know is
I wonder
not the
what
case.
then. Oh okay.
Yeah, no, it's because she lives on the first floor, so a lot of times like UPS and stuff will. What? He is here.
That's so funny. Who is it?
That. It's. Oh my God, these young comics. It's Chris.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, you can hang in the green chair. See, thanks so much.
Hi.
Hey.
Cool. We're like just like 15 more. Is that okay? Awesome. Thanks.
Cool.
So wait, why'd you get dumped?
So, we did live across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And both of our careers are like going well. It'd be like murder, like it would be crazy for any of us to move at this point. Like, we're both kind of thriving in our environments.
Yeah.
But I was okay with distance, obviously, because you know about my upbringing. So I was like fine with all of it and like
That's
talking
true.
from a distance. But I was, so it kind of worked for me. But so she, the anxiety of like missing each other and like having intense weeks, it was too much, and she had so much on her plate. And then what she doesn't want me to say, but it's like she's like a compulsive liar. She's not like an honest person.
Yeah,
She
I
has
know
some
people.
problems. She had like a rough teen life. Like she is just like a teen drug addict, Like,
Yeah.
She has her things, and it was just too much. And I have my theories of why she couldn't accept my love and all these different things.
Yeah.
But
Do you still grapple with that in your head?
It was not a doable relationship for her life and her brain and what she could do.
Yeah.
But so we met. We hadn't seen each other since the dumping, and we hadn't talked in like 6-7 months because I needed a full break. And she wants to be liked by people and like not be hated. But I was like, I need to get over you. Like I'm fully in love with you. But we saw each other at Montreal.
Oh,
So
this past?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And then me and my friend Sabrina, we do a show called How Many Questions, and we ask. Okay, so she did it. So my ex did it.
That was the first time you saw her?
Yeah, so
Shit.
we knew we were gonna see each other. No, I saw her like a couple days, but like so we had a few days in Montreal to like have a casual thing. But my therapist was like, how many questions? Everyone should do this after a breakup. But basically, I got to ask her whatever I wanted for a minute and a half, and Sabrina did. And then we changed the format, and she got to ask me questions as well. And so it was like pretty nice. But she was like, so we moved a little too fast? No, don't you say? So for her too, it was like, she was like, usually like you meet someone, you see if you like each other, you go on some dates, you date casually. And she's like, we just got into like a full on relationship, only meeting for a couple weeks and then months at a time not seeing each other. So it wasn't like a very nice, it was like a lot for her.
Yeah, that's a lot on the heart.
And then for me, I was just like, what my favorite question I got, well, I asked her how often she goes on my Instagram, so that was fun.
What'd she say?
Every day, which is the perfect answer.
Do you post stories? I only put, like when I post Instagram stories, I just look
I'm
to see if
looking
the
for
people
my
I fuck-
crush.
Yeah, same.
Looking for my crush. But I asked her, so I had a birthday in Palm Springs a few weeks before she came to New York, so she couldn't make it, whatever, to my birthday. And she sent lots of great presents, and then she also sent a life-size cardboard cutout of herself.
Aw.
But then I was dumped 2 weeks later. So to me, it's like,
That doesn't make sense.
do you think it's so I'm getting what I want. I'm not a lunatic. It's not like someone's not returning my calls or telling me like I want to fuck other people. Like I am getting someone that's like, I love you so much.
Yeah.
This feels like nothing before. Like this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm getting cardboard cutouts of her. We're like crying that we love each other so much. We're having like great. And then she leaves New York and I get dumped the next day, like with an email and a phone call. I'm like,
Oh my God, an email?
like an email, but then she texted me. She's like, don't worry, I'm just feeling stressed. I don't want to stop. But then it was just games. It was a lot of like, I can't be with you. We can't be in a relationship. Let's take a break. And then I would get a message at night being like, I'm thinking about you. So she still wanted to be friends. So she didn't give me time to get over her because she thought like that's like I'm mad at her. But like, she just fucked with me, and I was so desperate for her that I was like fine to do anything. So I would still continue to try to talk to her, do space, and like, and then she kept being like, "This is for our future. I want to still be with you. Like this is, I just, we have this thing." And so I just kept being hopeful that we would figure it out. And then we both were free in December, so I was like, "Let's just fly and like have a proper, let's like
Work it out, hash it out,
do
whatever.
something." And she said no, and that's when I was like, then you need to stop talking to me completely because you're telling me there's hope for us and there's not. Because every opportunity I've given you, like you're playing games, you're not returning my calls when you want to, like you're saying you're open to this, but you're not giving it to me. So it was just really hard. She fucked with me for sure.
Yeah. Are you guys okay now, or what's the?
We're totally cool. Montreal was great. We like had one rough dinner where we like were very honest, but it was like a good time. And we have a mutual best friend. Like we have friends. We both think we're fun, like funny. So we had a good time and like hanging out, and we didn't cross any boundaries and like kept it good. And like, yeah, if I see something cute, I'll send it to you, whatever. But I found out newer information about kind of bigger lies through a mutual friend and it's from the start. So for me, like my problems aren't with her, it's with myself, because it's like I got this thing that I've always wanted, and now it's like based on all these lies, and it's hard to think
So
that
you have to
something
question
wasn't
the
real.
validity.
Yeah, it's like, are you a fucking sociopath? And she doesn't want to be. She doesn't think. That,
I know.
So it's like, are you a fucking psycho and you've just been lying and playing this game and none of it was real, or did I have this love in my life that was great? And I should just take the experience, but that's what fucks with me. It's like, oh, am I an idiot? And I thought this was real.
I think it was real. I think I know I never met a pathological liar before. Maybe I did, it just went over my head. But I befriended one a while back, and we were like really, really, really close, and we'd hang out all the time for like 3 years. And then the lies just got so. They just fucked with me, and I hated it. But then when I kind of stepped away from it, I was like, she doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to be like this. This was like a defense mechanism she developed at a young age.
Yeah.
It still fucking sucks to be on the other end of it. But I do think that for pathological liars is such a fascinating case to me, because they can be genuinely caring, loving people who give a shit, but then they just can't fucking help themselves.
No, you really hit it where it's like, yeah, it's not her, like it's whatever happened and who she is. But that's the one thing.
Still sucks.
She's like, stop calling me a liar. That's like the one thing. She's like, you need to stop doing that.
She doesn't want to be, but she's got to.
Well, because but like a pathological liar is an actual like mental health issue, whereas like just a liar is like something we throw out very easily.
Yeah.
So it's like, it seems like she just like needs help, which is, everyone needs help in a certain way. It's not like, it's not such a bad thing, but like,
you're a bad person.
Because one of my childhood friends was a true pathological liar, and I think a lot of it was she was insecure. She was like when you're really young, she was like the super heavy girl, like in grammar school. And I can't imagine what that must have been like. And so she was just trying to make her life seem like really exciting and amazing. And, but I mean, it's like, it's unbearable to live with, like, she's a cool person. I would hang out with her a lot, but at a certain point, it just becomes unbearable because you're like, this whole thing is a show. Like, it's like you're living in like the Truman Show or something. You're like, I'm a real person. And then you're like playing a character. And so, I mean, and then it's also like you have to decide like what mental health issues I can deal with and which ones I can't. Like for me, I can't deal with a pathological liar, but I can deal with other mental health issues.
But I thought I could for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
but when did you find out that she was?
No, for me, I was
she
like,
tell you right away?
No, I would catch her in little, like I knew. Well, we have a mutual best friend.
Okay, so that probably helps.
We've known of each other, and we had met once before, like a long time ago for a night. Like, so when I went to Australia, I knew we were gonna like hang out because we have a same best friend.
Common, yeah.
So they all knew, like I had heard of her, but I loved her so much. So to me, I was like, yeah, she's a liar, and that's something I'll deal with, and I don't mind.
Right.
And
like,
the lie's like really little, like, oh,
what
I went to the store, but she didn't.
What hurt me the most was all the information afterwards and like the confusion of it being real or not.
Yeah.
And so for her, she told me, she's like, that's bullshit. Like, I was there and like we felt it, and like don't deny yourself that. But it's just hard.
It's a mind fuck for you.
And recently I met up with one of our mutual friends who was visiting, and she let something slip, but not on purpose. I don't think she thought that I didn't know this information. And I was like, wait, what? And it just made me be like, yeah, like this sucks. So that was like pretty fresh, but whatever. I'm not going to bring it up to her. I don't care. It's like, she is who she is, and I like her, and it's fine. And whatever.
You just process it.
We're not going to be together. We're probably like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. She invested a lot of time in you.
She's a little
scoundrel.
A scoundrel? What is it?
Scoundrel?
She's a scoundrel.
Scoundrel. And
every time I run into her friends, they're like, yeah, duh. She's a scoundrel. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I mean, she's like a manic pixie dream girl. That's what I told her to. She didn't hate that. She has that thing where like so talented, so smart, so funny,
charismatic,
cool,
charismatic. Yeah.
She's doing magic tricks. She's playing the piano. She's singing. She's like playing a guitar. She's doing one like hour show. Like she's just everything,
Right.
She's like cooking stuff. So cute. So it was like a whirlwind of a fantasy.
Truly irresistible.
Yeah.
Truly irresistible. And she
Wow.
knows it.
Oh, man.
She totally knows that she's like a fucking psycho little catch. She's a catch.
Psycho catches are fun.
Yeah. She's like successful, cool.
Yeah. That's, are you?
Works out every day. Like she just got it all.
I mean, anyone can work out every day, though. It's very accessible.
Like, who has the time?
Yeah, but I guess. But to find the time. But she works out to like fuck, Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She's got to fuck.
Yeah. Is she? Oh, okay. Yeah. We with strap on. It's the one time I did it, I was like, this is
This is
I can't walk. I can't
Yeah.
walk, not because I got fucked real good, but because like my thighs were moving in a way that they usually don't for a very long time.
I know. I'm so nervous about that frontier, but
you figure
you
it
gotta
out.
just fuck people,
Yeah, it's fun. I liked having a strap on, but I didn't get to do it for very long because it was hurting his butthole. But whatever. That's the technicality that I would love to fuck a girl with a strap on.
Yeah, I guess that's why when lesbians can't just be like, I'm a bottom, I can't do anywhere.
Yeah, does that happen? Or lesbians like?
I think there's like pillow princesses or something.
Oh yes.
Wait, a pillow princess?
You're right.
I've never heard that term.
You're right. I forgot
They
about
just want to
that.
lay there and get fucked.
Yeah.
That's probably. Well, I could be both. You switch.
No, I'm into giving someone pleasure,
But it's fun to lay on the pillow and get it.
I just maybe it's intimidating. I don't know, but like that's something that I'm
Have
not
you
like. Oh, that turns me on. I can't wait to do that. I don't have that kind of urge.
You said you had done 3-ways before. Have you ever done like an orgy or more than 3 people?
It was I had a foursome once, and it was the best. Like one of the best sexual experiences of my life, and I talk about it all the time, and it's kind of embarrassing because it happened like 4 years ago, and I'm just still talking about it on every podcast. Like, it's like, get a new story.
I want to hear it if you don't mind.
It was at Caroline's, and I walked up on stage, and there was this dude that was just like a fucking babe, and I was like, you are so hot. I don't even know how I'm gonna do my set. I'm so distracted. You're like so my type. And he was with a guy and girl that looked like a couple, so I started making fun of them and how he's the third wheel. Just had a great set, feeling good. And I was like, he's hot. I'm gonna wait for him. And so I waited for him, and he was like, hey, where are you going? I'm like, I'm gonna go with my friend to Lily's. You guys should meet me there. They're like, we'll wait for you there. So I hung out with them. We had one drink. We got to chatting. And finally they were like, listen, us two, we're not a couple. We're actually all on Molly. We're all old friends. We've come here to fuck. His wife gets in tomorrow, but for the sex party, but we're just fucking in the hotel room. There's Coke and Molly, and we would love for you to come.
Wow, what an invite.
I was like, what a fair. This has never happened on stage.
It was
I love hearing stories of women, like female comics getting like sex after.
yeah.
I never hear those.
Yeah,
I
so it
need
was
that.
incredible. So we went and like bought a 24 pack, but like me and this dude were making out immediately in the car.
Nice.
And they were all just like sex positive. Like the girl, one of the dudes wasn't like really my type or anything, but he was a good spirit. And then she
sometimes
looked
it's all
like
takes.
Snow White in a way.
Oh, wow.
She was like, yeah, she was young though. She was like 22.
That sounds fun.
And so they just had everything. They had collars, leashes, paddles. There was dildos everywhere. So much lube, condoms, Molly, Coke, all the drinks. And then we fucked forever. And then, but I had to go babysit that next morning. I still had a day job. So I went straight from this like foursome to the Upper East Side on like York and something, and babysat like a 7-year-old Vietnamese boy. And his mom knew something was up because I was wearing like a black lace dress, he like booty, like she knew something was up. I had Gatorade. I looked jacked up. And it was weird because I didn't think I was going to stay out that night. So I didn't have a charger, no makeup, no chain, like nothing.
You get there, can I charge my phone?
Never stop telling this story. That's a really good story.
Oh
And
my
the boy
God.
was so good. He let me nap. He just wanted to read and like play game. Like he didn't need me. Because sometimes you get hard kids.
Right.
Yeah, and they're like, read a story to me.
Yeah, so it was
Seven's a
perfect.
good age though, because it's like not too old to like they're gonna get in like serious trouble,
Yeah.
and not too young where you need to like give them a snack every 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I kept being like, you're being so nice to me. Thank you so much. I'm so tired. And so he
And he got you a blanket and a glass of water.
I wish. No, but the fucking was great. And then there were times where like we would take breaks and chat, or like
Did you
two
fuck
people,
all of
three.
them?
Yeah, everyone was
Wow.
fucking everyone. And then there would be times where all the attention was on someone, or we'd break up into twos, or
Yeah.
it was like one person. Like it was really like hours
It
and
really
hours
sounded
long.
like it flowed well.
It flowed so well. But the one part I did try to go down on her, this was before reading the book, and she was like, so you've not been with women, right? And
She
so
could
like
tell.
yeah, so that kind of sucked. But I did get they were like, we can't believe this is your first group experience. They're like, you are great. Like you're like this. I think I was really in there because it is all the porn I watch. So it was really my fantasy coming to life.
Yeah.
And so I was like so
Oh my God,
in it. I
that's
was
so
like
fun.
fully in it.
Dude, I want a gangbang to happen so bad, but I cannot imagine a situation in which I would be okay with every single guy.
Yeah, it's
But man, if I
tough.
could, best birthday ever. Like that just sounds so much
Have you
fun.
done a DP?
No, I haven't.
That
Because I
could
really
be
gotta get better at anal. I have Tristan Taramino's guide.
Well,
to
not
anal
you,
sex
but
that
have
I
you
read.
like spit roasted or anything?
What's that?
Like one in the mouth, one in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna
One in the
say,
couch, one in the mouth.
That's a place to start before the gangbang.
Yeah, that was very fun. But I was so overwhelmed. But I was very young when that happened. And I was so overwhelmed by the fact that it was happening. That was with the guy Shane. That I didn't let myself enjoy it as much. So that's why like now that I like know more about sex and I'm more of like a connoisseur of it and I respect it more. I want to.
Yeah, that's
fucking
more
get
of an
into weird
intermediate
shit.
move, you know.
Yeah.
So if you get it when you're a beginner, it's a
You're
little
like
harder to navigate.
you're too overwhelmed, you know. But now I want to go to sex parties and shit.
Yeah, that's like a cool thing.
Have you gone?
No, I have tons of friends that go,
I've gone, yeah.
and I haven't. You've
I
gone.
want to go. I want to go like one at a house.
Have you worn a collar? You mentioned collars, and then
Yeah.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
wearing
love
that.
a leash, love a collar.
See, because I'm very.
I want someone to walk me around.
Threesomes, group sex. We talk about
Yeah.
that kind of a lot, but I was like, this is the kind of stuff I need to get into. Collars.
So yeah,
Can we
like
talk
so
about
me
that
and the
first?
sex,
Yeah.
like we had we got bed straps, and
Yes,
that's
the
like my
harnesses,
favorite.
yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's great. And I love a leash collar stitch.
Now,
And I
do
like
you walk
being
or do you get
hit.
walked?
No, I'm a bottom.
Okay, yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Sub, yeah.
Because that's the thing. Because like I
Me
just
too,
really
me too.
can't. Yeah, I can't really get into the.
You would probably
I-
walk a guy on a leash.
Not a guy. No, not a guy. I would lose all respect for him. I would have to walk a girl, and the guy would have to. I would have to be there with a guy, and we have to walk a girl. I can't walk a guy because then I would never want to fuck him again. I certainly don't want to be walked. Because please. That I was like, I've already thought about this. Yeah, it's weird, but then it's
No, I would love that. I like that. I love that kind of I would love to be in a collar like leash situation with a hot girl that's in charge and
Yeah.
her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But then what is it? But then I got nervous as a feminist. I was just like, why do I have this urge to not? I don't want to fuck this girl. I just want to disrespect
Well, degrading someone can be sexual when both people are into
What
it.
is that?
But I
What
think
is
it's-
that?
So that's the porn category. I love
Yeah.
public disgrace.
Dude,
But you
love
want to
it.
fuck the women at least.
Well, I like public disgrace
Yeah.
porn too, so I
You
don't know.
I don't
And-
want anything really actually bad to happen to her. And
So
she can
that's
have
fine.
sex. She
So
can have
it's
sex
fine.
with the dude.
But you don't want to fuck her. You just want to humiliate her. But
Yeah,
some
but
people want to
I
get
want
off
to get
you.
humiliated.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to get.
there are women out there that
Okay.
just want to get humiliated, and
Listen,
that makes them wet.
As long
Yeah.
as it's okay with you guys.
We're fine with it, Corinne, so we give you permission.
I just get worried. I get worried because then I start like going giving myself like a psychiatric evaluation.
No, I love being humiliated
know?
during sex. It's one of my favorite. That was my cuckold or cuck queen thing. It's like I want a guy to fuck this girl and tell me that she's better than me.
Right.
It's so hot.
Because I don't even like when like people trip and embarrass themselves in real life. I feel bad then, you know. So why do I want someone to jizz in your eye? Like, you know, it's
I don't
wants
want
that
to
jizz in her eye,
I don't
baby.
want eye jizz.
I just hurts.
I don't want eye jizz.
I don't think I've ever gotten jizz in my eye. Is it acidic?
It's hurt. I don't know what it is, but
I don't like it
hurts.
in porn. Like when they hold their eyes open, I'm like, I don't like
Close that,
this.
girl. Put on some goggles.
Yeah, and it ruins your beautiful eyes because they get all red then. And if you have a contact lens, I can't imagine what a mess that would be.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, there is the one thing that I don't know if I'll ever do is like I don't want to lick ass.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, I've licked
I
an
never
ass.
have, and I don't know if I
Not
ever
even
will.
don't want
a
to?
woman's ass.
It
It's like
really
a woman's
makes me
ass would be better to
uncomfortable.
lick.
Really?
Because that's where the poop comes
I'll
out.
probably get to. I mean, if I'm with someone for a long time, you're gonna do everything.
Has anybody ever
but
licked your ass?
Yeah.
How'd it feel?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
See, I would lick a woman's ass in a second. The reason it took me so long to lick an ass is because I date straight men and they're disgusting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It makes me uncomfortable.
Very dirty butts.
Like I don't want someone in my butt. Really?
Yeah. Have you read anal?
No.
It's not that fun, but there is an art to it. So
I've
some
had
people
something
like
in
it.
my butt, but not
Yeah. What, a
human
finger?
dick. No, like the best part of the group thing was when it was like all me, right? So I had one person with something in my butt, one in my pussy, and then
Nice.
some guy like choking me and rubbing my clit.
Oh my.
Like making out with me. You
See,
know?
that sounds like overkill. That's too
No,
much.
that sounds perfect.
I
Yeah.
couldn't handle all that. That's too
But
much.
it wasn't the whole time, you know? And
Yeah.
then sometimes you're just like underneath something or
There's a ball sack in your one eye.
and then at the end, like the dude just fucked me and the other two watched and I like loved it.
wow. And that just you got off stage and then your night
Yeah, it was a
went
dream
there.
come true. Yeah, that's
That
why
truly is a dream come true.
Yeah, and I would love to do a group thing again, but it was just so perfect. Like I just want to connect in that moment with
Yeah.
whoever it is, and,
And
that's
it's-
what's hard. That's what the gangbang is probably hard for. Where
Yeah.
it's like, how do you find five
because
dudes?
the spontaneity is such a fun part, and the fact that was a spontaneous
Yeah.
night that makes it so much better.
Well, I watch Wood Rocket is this porn site, and they do a
write
series
that
called.
down.
Well, it's not a. It's they do how to
How to's?
no ask a porn star. So they go to the exoticas and the porn conventions, and they like just ask tons of girls the same questions, and they edit it by the questions, and they just do episodes. And a lot of the girls, where the question was, "How did you get into porn?" A lot of them were like, "I was scheduling my own gangbangs on the weekend." And I had this day job, and then I was like, I should be making money.
Where were
off
they
of it.
scheduling
So a
it?
lot of them are just like slutty ass girls that were like,
Nice.
I was getting DP'd constantly. I was like orgies,
and I was exhausted.
My pussy was tired. I'm like, I need money for this.
How do I make this more lucrative?
yeah,
Really?
a
They
lot
were
of them.
scheduling it on their own?
It's like an amazing infomercial.
Well, because I heard I don't know about this world as much because you've been to these sex parties and stuff, but
Yeah.
there's like some sort of Facebook that's just dirty, and people post their own like set like gangbangs and be like, hey, I did this weekend, and then people will post like, hey, I'm looking for 5 black dudes for this week, tested this and that. If you're interested, let me know.
Yeah.
And so there is like a dirty, I don't know what it's called or
Ooh.
where it is.
Oh, damn it.
But it's like a dirty Facebook.
It's like
if
the
anybody
Facebook's
knows,
people to
dark
fuck.
web kind of. But
Sorry about
instead of
last
like
night show at gmail.com. Email us.
murdered
'cause-
Mexican children. It's just fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
nice.
the dark web I want to be a part of.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's people like really excited about their amateur porn.
Yeah. Have you ever been on FetLife? Because I was considering going on FetLife to
No.
do that, but I don't know. I mean, because it is like, I think sometimes when people like push the sex positive, I'm like, okay, yeah. But like, it is really valuable. Like when I did a 3-way dating app thing that was specifically for 3-ways, I'm like, the sex positive aspect of this makes it so much easier because it's like I don't have to fucking feel intimidated. I don't have to beat around the bush. Like you could just be very upfront.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
No, the kinky people are usually, they're like, that's what, because when I told people about it, they're like, were there condoms? I'm like, yeah, these are professional sex, like, these are professional fuckers.
Yeah.
They're taken care of.
Yeah.
Everything is clean.
Wow.
Like,
what a good story.
Everything is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm chasing that high.
I don't want to
Yeah.
get you too excited, but I feel like a good number of people will contact you.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Based on this, based on just knowing.
I know, I'm so nervous. I do so many
Listeners.
podcasts no one listens to. So I'm always open and just say whatever. And now I'm like, truly,
I just want to isolate that clip, and that's our new promotion.
Yeah.
totally
And we'll put like one of those like 5 stars with like the branches, like it's a movie.
That's
movie that won
really
an award.
funny. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for
Thank
sitting
you.
down with us.
Thanks for letting me talk so much. This was very exciting.
Oh, of course. Where can we find you besides the Degenerates on Netflix?
I'm at Glitter Cheese all over the internet. And then I'll be in Madison Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know. I have a website.
Which is
glittercheese.com or lisatraeger.com. It'll
Yeah.
go to the same place. But I hope I come to your town.
yeah, and if she is, fucking see her. She's
Great
fucking
show,
amazing.
super funny. Bring
Yeah.
some friends, you'll enjoy it wholeheartedly. Guys, thank you so much for listening to Guys We Fuck, the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Waking up, that stiffness in my arm starts to fade into a mild map of scars. Kick the blinds and kill the damn alarm. I'm alive, I'm loved and lit by lucky stars. Take it easy, pull the country air. 20 months back, I'd be falling down the stairs, saving daylights, going on stop. Good for me, this town's a bit behind the times.
Today's show is sponsored by Talkspace, the online therapy company that enables you to improve your mental health from anywhere and anytime. Get matched with a licensed therapist from over 2,000 choices and message them whenever you need to. No commutes, no judgments. For a special offer for our listeners, visit Talkspace.com/GWF and use code GWF to get $45 off your first month and show your support for this show. Talkspace, it's therapy for how we live today. Like when I did a three-way dating app thing that was specifically for three-ways, I'm like, the sex positive aspect of this makes it so much easier because it's like I don't have to fucking feel intimidated. I don't have to beat around the bush. Like you could just be very upfront.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that.
No, the kinky people are usually, they're like, that's what, because when I told people about it, they're like, were there condoms? I'm like, yeah, these are professional sex, like these are professional fuckers.
Yeah.
They're taken care of.
Yeah.
Everything is clean.
Wow.
Like,
what a good story.
Everything is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well, I mean,
chasing that high.
I don't want to
Yeah.
get you too excited, but I feel like a good number of people will contact you.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
wait.
Based on this, based on just knowing.
I know, I'm so nervous. I do so many
Listeners.
podcasts no one listens to. So I'm always open and just say whatever. And now I'm like, truly,
I just want to isolate that clip, and that's our new promotion.
Yeah.
totally
And we'll put like one of those like 5 stars with like the branches, like it's a movie.
That's
movie that won
really
an award.
funny. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for
Thank
sitting
you.
down with us.
Thanks for letting me talk so much. This was very exciting.
Oh, of course. Where can we find you besides the Degenerates on Netflix?
I'm at Glitter Cheese all over the internet. And then I'll be in Madison Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know. I have a website.
Which is
glittercheese.com or lisatraeger.com. It'll
Yeah.
go to the same place. But I hope I come to your town.
yeah, and if she is, fucking see her. She's
Great
fucking
show,
amazing.
super funny. Bring
Yeah.
some friends, you'll enjoy it wholeheartedly. Guys, thank you so much for listening to Guys We Fuck, the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Waking up, that stiffness in my arm starts to fade into a mild map of scars. Kick the blinds and kill the damn alarm. I'm alive, I'm loved and lit by lucky stars. Take it easy, pull the country
Today's show is sponsored by Talkspace, the online therapy company that enables you to improve your mental health from anywhere and anytime. Get matched with a licensed therapist from over 2,000 choices and message them whenever you need to. No commutes, no judgments. For a special offer for our listeners, visit Talkspace.com/GWF and use code GWF to get $45 off your first month and show your support for this show. Talkspace, it's therapy for how we live today.